know who was talking. I don't know who I just said that to.
Me.
Cube.
You.
You angered
Oh.
God.
No, I
I'm
take
glad.
I take that as a compliment.
He's very sensitive.
I mean,
I know
you're the-
Cupid said
We're all
Very
dying.
sensitive butt cheeks.
What the fuck? All right, I
Huh?
think I'll have to agree that Eric's gonna have to die in today's session.
My
I'm more
prayers. God,
taking personal issues into D&D. That's crazy.
God answered my prayers.
Don't call me Doodle Bing, you fucking dingle
Oh,
blurb.
okay.
And God answered my prayers. God, there is a God.
There is a God, and He is merciful.
God.
Thank
Anyway,
you, Astra.
hello everyone. We are back. Now actually streaming Eyes of Astra again. So thank fuck that we actually got that going again now. Like always, whenever we start stream, we always want to make sure we get our lovely players always introduced. Let's go ahead and let me see. I'm gonna roll a. Now that I got actual dice, I'm gonna roll a d6. I will also be participating in this this intro, but I'm gonna roll a d6 and see who goes first. Where's my where's my
Oh
d6?
wow, Cube got a 6, so he goes first. That's crazy.
I think Peachy should introduce themselves first because they
Honestly,
clearly want to.
I think Peachy should be thrown out a fucking window right now.
Honestly, would not be surprised. All right, rolling a d6. That's a 6. So we start with Falcaril. Go ahead and give yourself an introduction.
Off, dude. I literally the only thing I wanted was not to go first.
Oh,
I can go first if you want me to.
Yeah.
I don't want to go first.
All right, then we'll start with
I don't mind. Hi, my name's Star. I play Shaymar. She's the elven fighter. It's nice to see you all. Nice to have you all back here again. I know I sent the link to one of my friends, so if you're watching, I hope you're doing good. Thank y'all so much. Have a great day.
Better be fucking watching, motherfucker.
Jeez, calm down. All right, I'm gonna roll it
She
again.
sent you the link.
I got a 4. So Sailor, go ahead and introduce not one but 2 characters you play, and yourself as well.
Hello, my name is Sailor. I play 2 characters. First one being Karuni, who is in half hello,
Elf.
half elf, yes, half elf, ranger wizard, and I play also as Celest, who is a demigod bard, demi-human bard. Sorry.
There you go. That works better. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and make another roll. That's a 4. A 1. I give myself an introduction. Hello, I am your lovely DM, Anonymous Cube, also known as JC on Discord. I DM for everybody here this lovely campaign. Let me go ahead and make another roll. 3. Zoro, go ahead and give yourself an introduction.
My name is Zoro. I play the character Zoro, a Grash barbarian / fighter, and have a dog named Coco. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. And we got Eric. Go ahead and give yourself an introduction.
Yay. Hello everyone. My name's Yakamashi. Everyone here is nice to me all the time. And I'm not allowed to
We
say
don't like
otherwise.
you.
I play Eric with the K, who everyone also likes all the time.
Doesn't like.
All the time. And I'm the party sorcerer, half breed, half human, half demon.
All right. And lastly, we have none other than the lovely Falcaril.
Hi, my name is Lino. I play the warlock / cleric of the party. Falcaril Wingwin, everyone's favorite lover girl. Everyone's favorite lawful good character.
Might take a turn. Maybe.
Me when I'm a liar.
Might make a turn. But anyway, introductions aside. Ma. Ma. Sorry.
Could she drop an album, please? I would pay
Yes. Oh my
money.
god.
I would pay money. Could we just get
Bingo,
streams of your mom
yes.
instead? Of your mom singing?
Bro, put her in the booth, bro.
Yeah.
Real.
Forgive me, chat.
Let her cook. Let her
She's
cook.
cooking.
Forgive
It's the
me,
party's
chat.
bard.
But I know we haven't done this. I know we haven't done this in a while, so we're kind of getting a little bit of a warm up question. So, the warm up question I have for you guys today is: what is your character's like dream vacation?
Oh.
I'll go ahead and re-roll
You
again.
stole my QOTD that I
What?
stopped doing. I used to ask
Right,
everyone
yeah.
questions every day, and then I stopped doing it.
Oh, I didn't read those. We'll
He
start.
used to do these at the start, bro.
We'll start with Zoro since I rolled a 2 on my d6. What is Zoro's dream vacation?
Just being able to sleep.
Fair.
No way.
That's fair.
A staycation.
Staycation. Yeah, works.
Mhm. That's his favorite right there.
Hold on. I'm just gonna go ahead and have a little bit of some music in the background, so that at least we have
Tell
some
your mom
music
to
as
start
well.
singing again. That's the music we need.
Let's see.
Yeah, tell your mom to crank it up.
Let's go, mama.
Sailor. I rolled a 3. So, Sailor, what is Celeste and Karuni's dream vacation?
I think for Celeste, she would just like to go to the beach. Let's go to the beach each. She would like to go there. And just relax there and whatnot. Karuni though, I feel like she would probably stay like in the forest area, like it's like maybe like a cabin in the woods type of vacation.
Okay. Nice. I like that. Very well. We will continue with Eric. What is Eric's dream vacation?
I would second with the cabin in the woods, with his girlfriend, just far, far, far away from anyone else.
Isolated.
Emo ass.
Emo ass. And next up, Falcaril. What is Falcaril's dream vacation?
Falcarel's a beach girly, but she wants to go like a fancy beach. Fancy beach. She doesn't fuck with like the public beaches.
I
Yeah.
banished you to
Bruh.
Galveston.
That's as much.
Jesus Christ. And
That's a
lastly,
classic girl. Please.
Yeah, honestly. The fuck?
and lastly, Shamar. What is Shamar's dream vacation?
Shamar's dream vacation is not going on one. She likes to be where she knows things. She doesn't like days off. She likes her routine. She likes being able to just like keep to the same schedule day in, day out. So I think like if people offered her a day off, she would know less of what to do with it than like actually having like a dream vacation. I think she's more the type to be like, yeah, after work we can go out to have dinner, but I don't think she'd be like, "Oh, I can't wait for vacation." That's too much free time for her.
Sounds about right then. All right. So, from the last session that we had, there was the actually. We'll kind of kick it off like this. I know that I put up the VODs and everything, so who wants to earn an inspiration die by telling me what we did in the last session?
I thought this is how we earned an inspiration die, by telling us the question of the day.
Girl, I fell
Yes.
asleep.
Oh, yeah.
All I remember is that Shamar fucking undressed Falcoril. That's the only thing I remember.
He did not do that, for God's sake, no!
That's what I woke up to. I woke up to fucking Shamar like
Okay, I
stripping.
will tell everyone what happened. Shut up, Lino. Oh my god.
Yes,
All right.
ma'am.
Go ahead,
Yes, I was just-
Shamar. Go ahead and tell us the description of what happened in the last session.
Okay, so Zoro came back. He signed some guy's blade in Abyssal because apparently we've been getting more famous, and now people are like, "Yay!" Like it's great. We like to meet you. Finally, we got a break from people coming to kill us, and we got an invitation to a kind of big party thing. And everybody else was really excited to go, but Shamar was not so thrilled because after the whole tournament arc where the fucking city got absolutely slammed, she was very much hoping to avoid that again and not be somewhere else without her people where she couldn't protect them. So she did not want to go. The others all kind of were down for it, so they were all kind of getting ready to go. Falcaril was very opposed to Shamar staying behind, and the rest of them all kind of like gave their 2 cents about why she should go. But at the end of the day, it was Mara basically being like, look, we'll all go too because we all need to understand the new world we're living in. And then Eric being like, look, Werther is a bitch and he might come back, so you've kind of got to be prepared for that. And that's kind of what swung Shamar over on the side of going, so we all went. Molest finally happened. Celeste and Mercurio finally, they smashed in the wine cellar.
They
So big
molested each
news.
other.
Yeah,
Oh
big
my
news there.
God.
And Eric and Karuni got to have a fun time on the dance floor. Karuni was she tried. You know, she gave it her best shot. She really put a good foot forward, and she was wowing
the
people.
wrong
She's
foot.
doing good.
On the wrong
Yeah,
foot.
but yeah, exactly. But Tal and Falcaril, they got along pretty well. They both rolled like natural 20s. It was fucking insane. So they both danced like fucking absolute A+ world star, god tier fucking dancers. So they were like doing Swan Lake and shit. So they both got a lot of applause. But then they went outside and Falcaril kind of revealed a bit of her tragic past of how, you know, her family was better off and like, you know, Jesus Christ, Cube, you dying or something?
Sorry, my throat. I have phlegm in my throat. I'm like drinking water in between, so I don't have this, but it's still kicking up. Sorry, just continue. Just continue without me. Sorry.
Bro,
Okay. Hold on. Shut up. I was just gonna say. So after that, you know, Falcaril gave up a little bit more of her, you know, tragic backstory in which, you know, I guess she was never really appreciated by the people she wanted to be appreciated by, put down because they didn't like her powers, and you know, she couldn't hack it with the big kids. So she kind of revealed a little bit of that to Tao, and then Tao kissed her, which was very sweet, very cute, very much a slay. We liked that for her. And then after, yeah, very demure, very mindful, very demure. And then after that, I think Shamar spoke to Captain Christensen, and they were speaking about, you know, kind of, what do you call it? Kind of the whole, you know, why do you fight? What do you do when, you know, like you lose your reason for fighting? And they kind of came to the, you know, to the understanding that, you know, you don't really need a reason if it, you know, to protect people. You don't need a reason to fight. And that was kind of, you know, if it feels right. And that was kind of their whole thing. And then after that, you know, everybody went back inside. Shamar had a kind of drinking contest with Zoro and what's his face, Captain Christensen, and she won. So let's fucking go. 100 gold
100
pieces.
gold,
That was
yeah.
amazing. Yeah, 100 gold. Let's go. Which you put on there. Shamar was just like, I got 25, and then Christensen was like, yeah, bet double it, and then Zoro was like, nah, triple it. So he lost that fair and square. And so they lost that one fair and square. And then after
Yeah,
that, oh yeah, that
absolutely.
was hold on. That was something that I did forget to mention, was that at the start of it, Shamar sought out Balian, and he basically revealed that he kind of sent her to die in a sense, because he sent her to what do you call him? The death, like he sent her to kill Colchis, and it was
Yeah.
Ingron. Yeah, it was him. It was
Colchis.
Ingron who had to tell her, and you know, because Balian wouldn't give that up on his own, and finally Shamar just had to like choke it out of him and be like, dude, what the fuck is going on? Tell me what is happening. So now apparently she has like half of one soul and half of another soul of Balian's maybe not somewhat-ish girlfriend, wife thing. So it's fun all around. Back to the present though, Zoro, her and Zoro, after, you know, she won the drinking contest, she also kind of spoke to him a bit about it, and, you know, told him how kind of it was affecting her, and, you know, a bit about it. And Zoro gave his kind of take with his whole situation with his dad, you know, and kind of gave her some advice on that. And then after that, you know, Shamar went back inside, you know, with everybody else and with the elven children, so that way they could dance amongst people. And that was most of it. Oh, and Eric went absolutely almost lunatistic when he found out that the molest had happened. He was about to break down some walls, break some teeth in. You know, he was having a fucking day. He was not exactly fucking thrilled there. But after that, Shaymar tried to dance with Zoro because Karuni and Tal had done it, and they were both like, "Oh, it's so great! It's so fun! We love it!" And she was like, "Well, maybe I should try it then too." She tried to do a lift like how Karuni did it to Eric, nearly broke his teeth in the ground, but her shadow came in clutch at the last second. And I happen to think that's about as clear of a recap as I can remember.
That's
then
fine.
Patrick
and then
just
Shaymar.
walked in
The
and
Hold
was
on.
like,
I was gonna
"Man,
say,
you
wait a
two
minute,
fucking-"
hold on. Hold on, wait. I was gonna say there was one more thing I was gonna say is that after that, the whole thing with Falcaril was that Tal had asked her if she would undress Falcaril because Tal didn't want to just like leave her there in all of her jewelry and fancy dress. He didn't want it to get wrinkled, so that's why he sent Shaymar in there. And Shaymar left her a note basically saying, "Please don't break his heart. You know, he means the world to me." And she told Tal that he was, she was proud of him. That he was doing a good job. And after that, they basically just reaffirmed that they were like brother sister. So there you go. That is the full, as far as I can remember.
The lesbian
thing.
moment.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Why, Lena? Why?
Yeah. For that, go ahead and give yourself an inspiration die, Star. Go ahead and give yourself an inspiration die for that.
Let's go.
Thank you for that one. Holy
You
shit.
left out the lesbian moment. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Gay undertones.
Oh my
God.
good gracious. So
She just didn't want to break his stuff because she doesn't have the money to replace it.
we continuing on. We will continue for the next day. And then we will continue with the 2-month time skip and give a bit more recap on that. So we'll kind of start with the recap. Or not the recap. We'll start the day over. Everybody wakes up. Sun is shining. You hear construction still happening outside. You're already here. Zoro is already up and about, already outside, already just like on the balcony, just getting his stretches in, just getting ready for the morning. That is until Zoro. That as you are on the balcony, kind of like getting your stretches in and making sure that everything is all fine and dandy when you wake up and you don't pull a muscle while you're outside. You begin
He's
to
doing
hear
the splits on the railing.
you begin to hear a lot of loud bangings and a lot of arguments that begin happening inside of the sleeping quarters.
Oh no.
I'm gonna go ahead and go inside and start banging on the fucking door. Be like, "Hey, what the fuck is y'all talking about over here?"
Zoro, you make your way into the little section, that little section right there where it leads to all the doors of all the rooms, and you see that Eric is pounding on Celeste's door.
Carry on, my friend. And Zoro's gonna head back.
Yeah, Eric's just gonna give him the death stare as if to say, "If you fucking bother me, you are next."
I mean, Zoro don't give a fuck either. Like, go ahead.
All right, bro. Whatever.
Yeah.
Trying to cancel me?
Okay.
Bro?
As you are walking away, you see that Shaymar starts coming upstairs, and Shaymar, you see that as you're coming back to kind of hear the commotion that's upstairs, you see that Zoro's coming out of a room, and Eric is there pounding on the door.
Don't even bother. Don't even bother. Let's
Shaymar's just gonna like look. Shaymar is just like looking between him and going on.
It's Eric banging on Celeste's door because what happened.
Shaymar will just like kind of suck her teeth and sigh, and she'll just like give Zoro a pat on the back and walk past him towards Eric. She'll just be like, "Eric, what are you doing? It is early. We are all still asleep."
Eric gives her the same fucking look.
Eric, stop glaring at me like a cat. What is wrong?
Meow.
God damn it.
He took the opportunity.
I just got the ick.
Oh my
Me when I'm in
goodness.
a speed running the end of my relationship competition in Yakuza.
Damn.
Oh my god. Okay.
I got the fucking ick. I feel nauseous now. Holy
Yeah,
cow.
so Jesus Christ, my alarm. Shamar, you see that Eric is glaring at you, and you know you just look at him as you see that he has stopped pounding at the door to look at you.
Like Shamar will just like kind of like look at him and like look at the door, and she'll just be like, "So is there a reason you're trying to break in?"
I don't need to break in. This is me being courteous.
Shamar will she'll just like be like, "Here, let me try, and see if she won't come out easier if you don't pound down her door." And Shamar will just like give a few light knocks. She'll just be like, "Excuse me, I think Eric would like to speak with you."
Um, from inside, Celeste, you see that you are awake, and you see that Mercurio is still sleeping, as you are kind of sitting there. I'm assuming, you know what? Give me the rundown of what Celeste is currently thinking at this current moment.
Oh, oh, okay. Thought my microphone went up. Um, Celeste at this moment, she's just like, I think she's processing what exactly happened because she's like looking at Mercurio and then she's like, oh, he's here. And then she's like, wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute, hold on. And she's like, oh, we actually did it. And then she hears the pounding of the door and she's like, oh no.
He knows.
He knows exactly. And then she hears Shamar and she's like, okay, we kind of you know, we kind of have somebody who can appease the situation. So I think Celeste in this moment, she's just gonna carefully try to get out of the bed.
Okay. Give me a stealth check, if you'd be so kind.
Okay. That is a 15.
15. So Celeste, you see that as you're like clambering over, Mercurio, and you know, kind of get up and don some type of clothing at least. You get up and you like tiptoe your way to the door, and you see that Shamar, you hear a click as you see that the door opens just a bit, and you see just only Celeste's eye in the crack of the door.
Shamar will just like try and put herself between Eric and the door for a minute, so that way he doesn't like try to rip it open, and she'll just be like,
time, dude.
"Yes." Shamar will just like kind of look at Celeste and just be like, there was Eric pounding on the door, screaming like madman.
Yes.
I think he wants to speak with you."
Yeah, he probably does. Just let me get dressed and wake up Mercurio, and we will be
Get
right
dressed.
back.
Dress to impress
Yeah.
reference.
Just to impress reference. Yeah, she's gonna be like, I'm just gonna get dressed and just try to wake up Mercurio right now, okay? And she like closes the door again. She's like, oh, fucked.
Shamar will like turn to Eric and just be like, "She'll be out soon. She said she needs to prepare
5
herself
minutes.
and get Mercurio."
They have 5 minutes.
Shamar will just look back towards the door and be like, "He said 5 minutes, but take your time. It will be okay."
Then
You
Celeste
have
goes back.
damned them.
Celeste just goes back to Mercurio and she's like shaking him rather roughly. She's like, please wake up, please wake up, please wake up, please wake up, please wake up.
You see that Mercurio's eye, like, you know, his other eye is just completely gone. It's just, you know, just the socket there. You see that Mercurio's eye is like dazed, and then you see that his eye focuses again. He says, sorry, oh, it's too early for this. You see that Mercurio leans over to try to like support himself on your little table, and you see that he slips and he crashes onto the floor. He's like, oh, Okay. All right. That's bad.
Okay, I'm over it. I'm breaking in.
Oh god. I'll
Oh
grapple.
no. Oh
Grapple.
no. Oh no.
You see that.
Yeah, have fun with that.
We'll start with we'll continue with Celeste first for just a quick moment. You see that Mercurio slowly gets up. He's like, oh, all right. Ooh, that was bad. You see that as he gets up, you see that there is something lodged in his shoulder, something gleaming just a little bit. And you see that as you see Mercurio kind of like stretch and like move left and right, you know, you see that your hilt of your blade actually dug into his shoulder as he fell. You see that Mercurio's moving. He's like, oh man, my shoulder feels stiff this morning. Oh,
Hell's with weapons and attracting to your skin. And you see her, she like reaches and she like takes it out from his shoulder. She's like, what's with, I don't understand.
Ow. Ooh. Oh, was that on my shoulder? I was wondering why
Yeah,
I felt
sorry.
stiff.
So yeah, sorry about that. She kind of like tosses it back on the table. She's like, just leave that there.
Yeah. Oh. You see that Mercurio looks at you. He kind of like looks up and down at you. He's like, sorry. Why are you in my room?
This is actually my room.
Oh. You see that Mercurio kind of takes a quick look. He's like, right. This isn't my room. I'm just gonna like, you know, just you see Mercurio kind of like point down at his underwear on the floor. He's like, I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
God have mercy, bro. Damn.
Oh
Okay.
god, man.
Okay.
She's like, yeah, that's fine.
Another session where we describe Mercurio's bazooka horse meat.
You
happy.
shut up. You see that you and Mercurio both, you know, get yourself changed into Mercurio is still wearing his fancy clothes. You are, you know, wearing you are donning. What type of clothing is Celeste donning essentially after, you know, given the 5 minutes left over?
There's anything she can grab, so anything like, I guess, comfortable, like casual clothing.
Okay, yeah. So you just grab your usual outfit, but you know, just without the jacket. You just have like your regular tunic shirt, and then just some like very puffy pants. But you know, you kind of put those on and, you know, make your way out. Shamar, we'll continue with this in a minute. Shamar and Eric, what is the situation here that I was hearing? I was hearing that Shamar wants to grapple him.
I break in.
Okay.
Who
So
wanted to break in? Yeah, I'm gonna grapple him. Why that?
okay. If you're gonna grapple him, I need both of you to give me an athletics check.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, I fail.
Okay.
What are your guys'
I mean,
rolls?
Uh,
My acrobatics was an 8.
Okay. Chamber?
Mine was a 12. I didn't 12. I didn't roll that well.
Alright,
So
well.
Shamar, you see that you know, you hear some scuffling inside of the room, and you see that you turn around to see Eric. You know how anime characters, when they like look down, you see like their faces kind of darken a bit, and you can only see like certain outlines. You see exactly that as you see Eric kind of like look down, and you see that his fists are kind of like trembling next to him, and you see that he like makes 2 quick stomps at the door before you are easily able to like put him like how does Shamar stop him exactly? Give me a description of how Shamar stops him.
I'm sure Shamar has seen numerous people given to rage over the years and like to be like, God, and so Shamar's just like, oh god damn it, no. She'll just like kind of like with one fell swoop, he'll take like one step forward. Shamar just like grabs one shoulder and pins it behind him, and then gets the other arm and just pins that, and then just like has him like hunched over with her arms, like putting both of his arms, you know, behind his back and just like putting his head down towards the floor. So she's got him like, you know, kind of just like staring at the
Oh,
floor with his
yeah,
hands.
I
Yeah,
see.
with his hands there.
Um,
Yeah, and Sharon's just like,
You might
I
have dealt
told
with
you
people with
to
rage,
wait.
but you
Yeah.
might have dealt with people with rage, but you haven't dealt with Eric with a K. You said I'm on the floor.
no, you're facing towards the floor. So she essentially has you like bent over, your arms behind your back, and you just having facing the floor.
Sure.
So Eric, you see,
I teleport in there.
you need to
Can
be
you
able
teleport to a place that you can't see?
You need to have,
That can see through the keyhole.
but you are.
You aren't looking through the keyhole.
You are
I can look through the fucking keyhole.
Okay,
So you can't.
if you're gonna wanna look to this keyhole, I'm gonna need you to give me a perception check, and I'm gonna give you this with a disadvantage because you are grappled, and Shamar is actively holding you.
Me when
down.
I'm in a fucking hater competition in my opponent's cube.
Dude, you're being grappled downward, being grappled and forced to look down.
So I can't move my neck to look upwards. Dude?
Yes, what I'm saying is you can, but the problem is if you're going to do this, you're gonna have to actively keep moving, in which Shamar is going to continuously.
My passive is 18.
Okay.
Does that do anything?
Shamar. So we'll start it like this. Eric, you see that as you make 2 steps to the door, you see that your vision immediately like spins as you are immediately now looking down at a floor, and you take a bit of a closer look, and you're looking at a floor. And you see that Shamar is actively holding you down. And with this, you notice that there is some
That's
monicum.
cute.
You see that there is some monicum of protection that Shamar is trying to do here. And with this, a small idea kicks in, and you take a quick look through the keyhole, and as you look through, you see that there is like a small light, and you kind of see like a corner inside of the room. You see Shamar, you see that as you are holding him, you blink and you feel your hands are no longer holding onto anything, as you see that there is nothing there. And you
Your
see
hands
that
feel a little hot. That's the residue it leaves behind.
You see that there is like a red magical trail that leads directly towards the room. Celeste, you see that as you and Mercurio are like still getting ready, you're still looking through your closet for some clothes, and Mercurio is kind of putting on his pants, still shirtless, and he's kind of like fumbling to try to find his belt. You feel a sense of magic being casted around you, only to turn around to see that Eric is standing in the corner of the room.
Good morning. And I cast daylight.
Eric, as you cast daylight in this room, you see that the room begins to brighten up, only for you to see that there is a Celeste that is still very much unclothed. She's only wearing her bra and panty, and you see that Mercurio is shirtless.
Oh my God.
As you see that Mercurio is still trying to button his pants.
Hey, this is insane. This is fucking insane.
He should have thought about what he was doing.
I don't know what the fuck to tell you, man.
Eric, you see these two, and they're like deer in headlights, like looking at you, and you see Mercurio kind of pipes up, is like, hi.
Celeste at this moment, she's like trying to hide herself. She's like,
Shamar will just like, you'll hear like a few knocks at the door, and she'll just be like, may I come in?
This is none of your business.
I don't think this is the best time for anybody to come in.
Yeah, you see Celeste that Mercurio like tosses like a couple articles of clothing in your direction to kind of like hide you, and you see that he kind of like stands in front of you. He's like, yeah, this isn't a good time for you to be in here. I don't think it might be a little intruding.
Mercurio, just the person I wanted to talk to.
Yeah, can I help you? As you see that Mercurio quickly like buttons his pants, and he's like, yeah, can I help you? Yeah.
I begin circling Mercurio. And I say, in lieu of Baprold's recent absence, I've been doing pondering of my own. And I figure you are unelegant, and I use my staff to smack him in the calves.
You see that you smack him in the calves and he doesn't move.
Ow.
No, he doesn't move, but you see that you do leave a small bruising mark on his calf. Yes.
He doesn't even flinch.
No.
He's used to pain, bro.
He's used to it.
Undisciplined, and I
Oh.
smack him in the spine.
You smack him on the spine. You see that Mercurio kind of like stands up a bit straighter now. He's like, ooh, that was actually a good spot. Thank you for that one. You see that he stands
And most
straight
of
up.
all,
He's like,
lacking in prowess. And I wind up to slap his face with the staff, and then when it gets close, I just tap it twice with the wood.
you see that Mercurio looks
The
at
wood.
you.
Hey, yo.
You see that as you wind up your staff, you swing, but barely stop like a few inches from his face before you tap him twice on his cheek. And you see that Mercurio looks at you with his one eye as he just looks at you, and he just looks stoic. You just see that his face just has no expression.
So I've taken it upon myself. Mercurio, from here on out, you are my apprentice.
Celeste just looks confused and she's like, huh?
You see that you see that for a moment you see Mercurio's face kind of like a crinkle into like confusion, and then you see that his face kind of lighten up. He's like, wait, does that mean you're does that mean you're gonna teach me magic?
Celeste quickly shakes
While your
her head.
martial abilities are understandable, your magic is severely lacking. And while you may wield a hammer, not every problem is a nail.
Okay.
Training will be rigorous and painful.
All right, yeah. You see that Mercurio kind of like pounds his chest twice, like, yeah, I'm used to pain. Yeah.
And it starts now.
Oh,
Fireball!
he fucking kills everyone.
That's the end of Eyes of Astra. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, that's it. That's it, folks. It's all over. Okay.
Yeah, I fireball Mercurio.
You fireball Mercurio.
Yeah.
Can we say at this point that Shamar just got concerned, came in and re-grappled him?
We'll say it like this. While Eric was giving his speech and you could hear it from outside Shamar, give me either a strength check or a sleight of hand check.
Couldn't she also do the same thing and make it so she looks through the peephole and has her shadow appear?
Oh.
I mean, yeah, but she's not, she's just not that kind of person. She doesn't like peeping in on people. She would have been a lot more likely to listen than, like actively try and, because she's trying to respect Celeste's privacy, not, beeline into her room and kick down her door and fireball her boyfriend.
So
there are more important matters at hand.
So Shamar, for you, I'm gonna need you to give me either a strength check or a sleight of hand check.
All right, well, so what is? I'll do sleight of hand then.
Sleight of hand, okay.
Ooh, that's great. That's a 25.
25. You see that Eric stops talking for a moment, and you see that there is like, you look through the keyhole for a moment, and you see that there is a light that is emanating from inside of the room. In panic, you see that you are able to quickly pick the lock and open the door to see that Eric has his hand raised, and you see that a ball of flame is forming in his hand.
I got my shit like Frieza.
Yeah, pretty
One
much.
finger.
Yeah, one finger up. Let's see. I think for that. Give me a dex check. Give me a dexterity check.
Who, me?
Okay.
Shamar.
Okay. I'll re-roll that. Oh, no, wait, that was a dex save, not a dex check. My bad. Hold on, let me do that.
Dex check.
Alrighty, then. That's a 15.
A 15? Okay. So, So, Eric, you see that as you are, you see that as you lift your finger up and you begin to form a fireball, you feel a grip at your wrist, and you see that your fireball slowly begins to dissipate as you turn around to see Shamar is grappling your wrist.
You're doing
What are
worse
you
for everyone
doing?
by you're doing worse for everybody by interfering.
I think I'm trying to save our lives and not burn down the tavern.
They'll
I
be
second
fine.
that. No, we would die.
No.
Are you fucking crazy?
Shamar, when you're looking in the room, you see that Celeste has only a shirt on, and you see that Mercurio is kind of like turning around. His face is kind of like put up in confusion. He's like, Shamar, hey, it's good to see you again.
Focus on putting pants on, please. Dear God, all of you.
Yeah,
I will take Eric outside.
Mercurio has his pants on, but it's kind of like sagging a little bit because he needs to put on his belt. So you see that it kind of like sags. He's like, oh, right. Celeste, you see that he kind of like kicks up a pants and he grabs it and he, huh?
Huh.
Hold on one sec.
Huh.
Crazy.
Narnia, Narnia.
You're literally doing worse for them. I have made a magic
I
careful
highly
spell.
doubt that.
They'd be fine, except for Mercurio.
Yeah, you know, careful spell doesn't negate damage. It only
It does
halves it.
now.
Oh, well, thank God. At least that's something. But still, you could burn down the tavern, bro.
I can make the tavern safe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I somehow doubt that.
Zoro's just on the stairs the entire time, just listening in with a smile on his face.
Eating popcorn, enjoying the cheese man.
Yeah. I'm just listening to it. I'm like I saw Eric. You know, mentally I took a screenshot of that happening, like, because I'm gonna remember that now. Shamar just fucking having Eric on the ground, and then he just poofs. And then I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna wait for Eric to just be thrown out.
I'll just teleport again.
That's
Well,
fine.
best of luck.
Get to see you go ahead and get thrown out.
Sorry. Shoot. What did I stop on? Celeste, you see that Eric, not Eric, sorry. You see that Mercurio kicks up a pants and he grabs it and he tosses it to you. He says, we should probably make our way out. And you see Mercurio quickly grab his tunic as he makes his way out.
Mercurio, you do nothing without my say-so. You don't do as much as take a shit without my permission. Do you understand?
That's kind of gross.
You see that Mercurio kind of like, as you both are making your way out, and Eric says, I see that Mercurio kind of like stops and he turns around and says, by law that Bapril told me, there needs to be a signage of contract. I don't know. Do we have
The contract is verbal.
Don't worry. I'll handle it. Just go quickly now.
You will go nowhere.
Ava
Look
will
here,
just-
buddy.
Shamar-
Let's go ahead. Let's have.
I was gonna say, like, Kuruni at this point, I feel like she would go ahead and she has like a tray of like 2 mugs and it has coffee, and she like sees the commotion. She's like, what in Astra's name is going on in here? Eric with a K. And she like sets the tray aside and she goes over to Eric and she grabs him by the ear and she's like, what in Astra's name are you planning on doing right now?
I am disciplining the youngings.
Disciplining the lovebirds, that's what it is.
They don't know what they're doing.
They don't know what they're doing.
And Celeste certainly doesn't know what she's getting herself into.
Alright.
They broke into the room. I tried to stop them.
Yeah, well, and then she forces Eric to look at Celeste. She's like, alright, tell her right then and there. Go on.
What?
Tell her right then and there what she's getting herself into. Go on.
You know she won't listen to me.
And how do you know that?
Well, I'll prove it right now. Celeste,
Yes?
you do know that Mercurio is Baprold's apprentice.
I'm aware.
And if you know anything about Baprold, you know he doesn't treat women respectfully.
Yes, I'm aware. But Mercurio's not backrolled.
How do you know that?
Celeste
How
looks.
can you be so sure?
As you, Celeste, you look over to see Mercurio. Mercurio's actually gone. You see that he's over at the 2 mugs of coffee. He's like poking at the mugs. He's like, "Why is this so hot? What is this?
It's called
Is this
coffee,
like
buddy.
Is this like a new beer?
It's an energy drink. If you
It's coffee.
Huh? Can I try some?
Yeah, sure. And Korea's like, yeah, go ahead, hun. Try one.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, ew! Why the fuck would you send that, Lino?
Oh God.
What is this fucking reminding me of right now?
People. People.
Christ.
Lino, try not to ruin the atmosphere challenge impossible.
He's like, no, like you're my sister.
So,
Like, he's being weird. He's
so-
giving boy mom.
So yeah, you see that Mercurio is like taking small sips of this mug as he's kind of like trying to blow out his tongue.
Just look at that fucking moron.
But I mean, I like him. Well, you just love so she's like, really, realistically, would you prefer that I be with any other guy in Fortuna?
I'd prefer it if you were alone forever.
Well, I don't
That
want.
sounds horrible.
He
did
can't say that shit, and
I'm
then you
perfectly
guys
fine.
say, "Oh, why would you say that, Lino?" When he's giving, it's literally giving.
Jesus Christ.
Why don't you give me a fucking break, lady?
Let's just like no. Ugh, Jesus.
Jay, you see Mercurio pop in and looks at you, crew, and he's like, sorry, is it supposed to be like this? I can't taste anything. You see that he like takes a couple. You see that he gulps a couple times. Like, it's very
bitter?
strong. Yeah.
Well, you gotta add the cream and the sugar. Don't worry, we can add that soon.
Oh, okay. I'll just go put this mug back.
Yeah, you're familiar with adding the cream, aren't you, you motherfucker?
Jesus Christ.
You see Mercurio kind of like step away, and Celeste, you see him go over and put the mug back on the tray as he like goes over and he stands next to you. He's like, "So, what were we talking about?"
Eric is afraid that you are like Barpold, in the sense, with how he is with women.
Oh, is that it?
Yes.
Huh. Well, I mean, Baprold's Baprold. He does what he wants. I mean, like, I like fighting. I'm not really too familiar with, talking with, I'm not familiar with talking with women much. I mean, I kind of got experience of it only because, Miss Weiss was always there to kind of like, tell me things of like not to tell a woman and things not to, or like what to, what I mean.
Baprold was double teaming Miss Weiss with Mercurio. That's crazy.
But I mean, you see that Mercurio scratches the back. So he's like, I mean, I don't know. Baprold does his own thing. I mean, he has his way with women. I mean, I don't exactly. I mean, I am his apprentice, yeah, but I don't exactly follow all of his teachings, and Baprold even told me
Will you
to.
stop stuttering over yourself and get to the point?
Well,
Damn,
what I'm saying, Eric, is that Baprold taught me some things that I shouldn't be doing, that I see him doing. So I took it upon myself to not do what he does. I mean, he's told me not to do it, so if he tells me not to do it, I'm not going to do it.
Bapworld teachings mean nothing anymore. You are now my apprentice.
Well, I mean, I still have my tattoo from Baprul. You see that he shows like a shitty like mug tattoo that's kind of like embranded onto his shoulder. He's like, yeah, I got this one like a long time ago when I first became his apprentice. He said that it was like a symbol to be one of his apprentices or something like that. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention, but yeah, Baprul taught me a lot of things. He taught me like, I see him a lot, hanging out with a lot of women, and I told him, I want to try doing that too, but Baprul really was against me doing that. He always, whenever there was training that I would do with him, he would always force me to do training by myself, like with no one around, just me and Baprul. We would always, practice on fighting and everything. So the only other woman that I was allowed to talk to was Miss Weiss. And, technically, if I had to look at it, Baprul and Miss Weiss were kind of the closest I had to parents. So, I mean, I learned a lot from them. I may not have learned too much, but I think I might have learned a little bit.
I'm not convinced.
Oh, I don't need to convince you. I know how stubborn you are. Baprul told me many times during our training, so I'm thoroughly not surprised. But the way of the world, I guess, or something like that. I don't know how it goes, but anyway, I'm starving. Anybody want to eat? No, just me.
Why don't you?
Zoro's gonna go to the kitchen and start cooking as soon as he hears that.
Curdy then looks to
Shaymar, release me
Mercurial.
at once.
Why? What are you going to do?
Because if you don't release me, I'll get myself out.
Sure,
Uh,
sure. But may I
Curdy then
ask
looks
a
to Mercurial.
question?
She's like,
Why?
Because I said so.
Are you going to try and burn down our house, or are we going to actually get to live through
If
breakfast?
you keep holding me, I might change my mind.
Curdy looks to Eric. She's like, you shut it.
Just listen.
Just listen.
Curdy shakes her head. She's like, oh. Anyway, so Mercurial, I guess the main question is, what are your feelings towards Celeste?
Oh, you see, he kind of rubs the back of his neck, and you see his face kind of like brighten a little. It's like, yeah, she's cool, I mean, like, she's nice, and I like the apple pies she makes, and she was there a lot of the time when I got injured, back in Fortuna, and sorry, I think I'm drawing a blank. I mean, it's like, no, you see that he looks over at you, Celeste. He's like, how does the saying go?
Just say you love her so we can leave.
I think the saying is, will you marry me? Is that how it goes?
What? Celeste likes what? And she's like,
What the hell?
That's how it goes, right? Because, like, Ms. Weiss told me that, like, if you really love somebody, you ask them to marry you. So
you can. Celeste shuts him up by kissing him. She's like, you could just tell me that you love me. That's fine with me.
oh, well, yeah, I love you.
I love you too.
Shaymar, your arms get hotter. You notice.
Yeah, she's cool with it.
Okay, so can we go now? My stomach's kind of killing me right now. I need to eat, and I kind of want
That's
You
fine.
need to sign whatever bullshit apprenticeship waiver that you need to sign.
Okay. And then Celeste just leads him out to go eat.
You see that that Mercurio kind of like puts one arm around you. He's like, all right, well, let's go get something to eat, right?
Yeah, I'm hungry too.
Yeah. You see that you both make your way out, and then you see Mercurio come back. He's like, oh, sorry, I'm just gonna grab my jacket right there. You see that he like shuffles over and he kind of pulls out a jacket from under the bed. He's like, "Thank you. I'm just gonna, and he goes back out with Celeste.
You're good. Shaymar will just like kind of look down at Eric and like she'll let him go, but she'll just be like, "What
I
is
was
wrong
gonna
with
say-
you?"
I was gonna say,
Eric will choke
Karuni
himself
would
off
look
of
at them.
Shaymar.
I was gonna say Karuni would look at them and she'd be like, no, I got this. And she like picks up Eric from Shimar. She's like, I got this.
Shaymar will just like slap him on the back of the head as she leaves.
She picks up Eric and then she like carries him out.
He carries him out.
Eric's got his arms crossed.
All right, so all of you begin making
Eric is such a bitch.
all of you begin making your way downstairs, and you see that Falcrol is out in the main portion. You see that she has like a couple books open, and you see that Tal is sitting next to her. She's like, "Oh, so when you say like magic words, you say like these ones?" As he like points out one line in the book.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I just do the magic.
Yeah, I think that's how it works. I mean, to be fair, you are pretty magical to me, I think. Sorry, it's too early in the morning. I shouldn't be doing that. And this one, and Falcro, you hear a lot of footsteps as you see everybody come downstairs. You see Tal looks like, Shaymar, hey. You see he goes over to you, he's like, so I learned a bit more about how like humans are able to cast magic. And it's like it's really complex and it's so different than how we do it. It's weird, It's crazy. Falco's been teaching me a little bit about the human magic. So hey, it's fun.
Oh, I am very happy for you, Tal. It sounds like your morning has been less eventful than me. I stopped someone from burning down the tavern in a fit of idiocy.
Oh,
and I am here now.
Is it an enemy? You see that Tal quickly reaches over and he takes like a butter knife from the table. He's like, where are they? Where?
Shaymar will just like pat him on the back, and she'll point to Eric with his pissy arms crossed, being held by Karuni. She'll be like, "That would be our resident madman."
Oh. You see that?
Yes.
You see he puts the butter knife down on the table. He's like, oh, good morning, Princess Karuni. Good morning, and let me see. Eric, you see that Tal goes over to you. He bows. He says, good morning.
You
Eric
better
doesn't
say
acknowledge him.
You don't have to go through all that, Tal. He doesn't deserve your respect.
You see that Tal looks over. He's like, but he's one of your friends, right?
No, we barely know him.
Good morning back
Trust
to
me,
the
don't listen to him.
Oh.
You know what you should do? You should pick up the butter knife and stab him with it. I think that'd be a really good idea. Hit a vital.
Don't do that. Don't do that. That is a horrible idea. Just don't listen to him either.
Okay. That's fine. I'll just go back to doing my study. You see that he goes over and he kind of like sits down next to you. He kind of sits down a little closer to you, Falcor. He's like, okay. And this one, around this time, you hear a lot of like pots and pans being moved around, and you guys see that there is a bright light that comes out from the kitchen, and you hear a couple murmurs coming from the kitchen.
Well, at least we know it's not Eric burning it down.
Thank God.
Burning?
You see that Zoro pops his head
I get
out.
insulted, dipshit.
You see that Zoro pops his head out from the kitchen. Zoro, I need to ask, are you wearing like a apron of some sort?
I am wearing a chef's hat on top of my head.
All right.
Pink.
And that's all
Cook
he's
apron.
wearing.
You see that Zoro pops his head out with you see that he has like a chef's hat on his head, and you see that the group is gathered up downstairs.
How dare you say something about me burning something in the kitchen? I'm not Eric. Leave that for him.
She kind of like she goes. She's
Wow.
like, you're a terrible cook.
Anyway,
I
breakfast
mean,
is
we all
almost
knew
ready.
that Eric was
Any special
incompetent.
requests?
Oh, can I get that? Can I get that usual bread?
I already got you, buddy.
Oh, all right, thank you. You see that Mercurio kind of like shakes you a little bit. Celeste, he's like, should we get a seat?
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zoro, can you like put something poisonous in Eric's food, please?
Way ahead of you.
Thank you so much. You're my favorite.
You see that Mercurio and Celeste sit down, his arm's still around Celeste. He's like, come on, have a seat.
Thank you, fire truck.
I heard
that sounded like a metal chair scraping
Yeah, no,
across
I
the
thought
Yeah.
like
floor.
somebody, like,
That's what I
moving a
thought,
heavy-ass
too.
chair around you.
I was
No.
like, damn, Sailor's getting really into the role.
I live like 2 minutes away from a fire department, so
Mm.
it's on me.
But yeah,
Wait.
any other special requests?
Celeste raised her hand. She's like, "Can I have a French toast?"
I already way ahead of you. Actually, that was crazy. You said that.
Thank
Who are
you.
the French?
We.
You see
It's
that, you see that
it's a
Mercurio,
Fortuna toast.
You see that Mercurio kind of like kind of like waves at you guys like, come on, have a seat.
Eric, Karuni, any of y'all?
Well, you already know what Eric likes. For me, anything with meat, please.
Gotcha.
Anything else for anybody else? Chef Zoro's looking for any
Shamar.
more requests.
Shamar will just like shrug her shoulders and she'll just be like, whatever you make tastes fine to me. I am not one to ask for more.
Okay.
Falcro will turn to Tal and ask him if there's anything that he
Oh no, I speak.
likes to eat.
Zoro speaks Elvish.
You
as well.
speak?
Yeah, he
Okay,
speaks
so,
Elvish
like,
as well. You
King
see,
shit.
you see that Tal has gotten used to you speaking Elvish. He turns around and in Elvish, Zoro's like, I'll have some porridge soup with some what is that thing? Pork chop that you guys have? I'll have some cubes of pork chop in it, please.
For breakfast?
Hey, the customer is always right. And then he'll go ahead and start cooking.
All right. So you guys all gather around at the table. You guys are having a seat, and you guys are having your talks. I need to ask a question: is Eric still being carried? Or is Eric still like being carried while Karuni is sitting
No,
at the table, or is
he can sit down on his fucking own.
Okay, I just want to make
I was
sure.
gonna suggest if you wanted to sit on her lap, but that's okay.
That was what I was insinuating, but I
Ew.
don't know. So you guys all sit around the table.
I have a question though.
Okay.
Yes.
What's Mercurio drinking?
Well, you see that. Well, I'll get to all the food and everything in a minute. You guys gather around at the table. You guys are sitting. It's a little silent with a couple conversations between some of the party members and whatnot. And about a good 5-10 minutes later, you see that Zoro comes out with a couple platters of food, and you see that he starts laying out whatever everybody ordered in front of him. And you see that Zoro also comes by with 3 tankards. You see that one tankard has like this very orange liquid. You see that the other one just has a clear liquid, and you see that the last one has like a dark red liquid in it.
Who's the vampire?
For you, Zora, what you have prepared some orange juice, you have water in a tankard, and then you also have prepared this nice kind of like cranberry alcohol almost, but it's not like something that's like too strong. It's just got like maybe just a small bit of alcohol in it, but it's mostly just cranberry juice.
So I spiked their drink.
It's a vodka cranberry in the fucking early hours of the morning.
You
That's
see,
what Falco's thinking.
you see that the tankard, you see that the like pitchers are all laid out for you guys, and Zoro lays out a few mugs for you all. And you see that Zoro lays out a couple mugs, and Mercury looks over, and is like, "Thank you."
You're welcome. You're welcome. Everybody dig in.
What did Mercurio get?
You see that Mercurio's plate. You see that Mercurio's plate has just like just a bunch of various different meats, and then you see that there's a side plate of just some toasted bread. And then you see that he pulls up a tankard and he grabs the tankard of orange juice, and you see that he like pours it into his tankard. As Mercurio kind of like puts his hands together, he's like, "All right, time to dig in." Oh, do you want anything from mine, Celeste?
No, not really. Thank you.
Okay, just making sure. And you see that Mercurio begins to like take pieces of it with his hands and just start eating it. You see he picks up pieces of like some like steak, some pork chops, some bacon. You see that there's like a few bits of like fried egg that is just like, he's just eating one by one. And you guys all dig into your meals, and you guys all finish up. You guys have yourselves a couple of some drinks, and
I do a reverse Jesus Christ, and I cast the new spell Elementalism to turn Mercurio's orange juice into water.
Diabolical.
What the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
Turn it into one. You see that halfway through the breakfast, you see that Mercurio kind of like looks over. You see that Mercurio kind of like he takes a sip, and then he looks down at his drink, and you see that he kind of has like a weird scrunch confusion on his face, like, oh, I guess I might have grabbed somebody else's mug. Sorry about that, whoever mug that is. You see that he puts it and he slides it off to the side.
That's your mug.
No, I didn't have water. I had orange juice.
Orange juice. I know.
Yeah, that's someone else's mug. That's not mine.
New order of business. Your diet is almost as lousy as your form. You'll be drinking only water from now on.
I mean, that isn't too bad. I mean, I've had to go through months without drinking, so I mean, that's fine. I can work with that.
What the shit?
Yeah, I mean, Master, you see that Master Somnus was kind of like big on like making sure that like I didn't get too much fluid in my body for some reason. So like,
Excuse me?
Yeah. So Master Somnus, he was one of the clerics that I used to work under. He taught me a lot about using my clerical powers, but he really wanted to hammer home that like there are gonna be desperate situations. So we kind of made this desperate situation of like making sure I don't drink for a few months, and like
my father made me go through the same thing with that.
See, at least we have some kind of experience that we share. Yeah, he had me go through that, and he, throughout the days, he still forced me to do more and more clerical spells, like, kind of stuff like that. I couldn't really get a grasp on it until I, like, started getting good at it. I don't even know how I did it. I just kind of, like, put my hands together until they glow and whatnot. So, it's not too bad. At least I can still drink something.
You're lucky I don't take the meat off your plate right now.
I would never allow. The food you don't touch.
You don't have a say in this.
It doesn't matter. You are in my zone.
His zone.
This
and
is my
apprentice.
My kitchen, my rule.
He eats what I tell him to. When I
Can
tell
we
him
punch?
to.
Can we all agree to punch Eric right in the face?
Hey, Mercurio, do you want to be my apprentice instead?
Oh.
Then you don't have to deal with Eric's bullshit.
I mean, I don't
You could
know.
be mine too.
Mercurio,
I won't
forgive
try,
you for
I
taking
won't
his
try to
motion.
kill you.
And
I won't try to kill you when you kiss Celeste.
Oh.
Let's relax for a second. Eric,
That sounds like good deal to me.
please don't mess with the food. That's all I ask. Everything else, go ahead, do what you got to do. Just don't mess with the food. We need that. We need to stay in top shape. Whether you think he needs a diet or not, this is how he works best.
He'll work
Can we agree with that?
under my command.
Eric,
Can
your
we
twin
agree
ass can
with
say
that?
nothing about having a good diet. You're so
Trini
skinny
just,
and
like, sighs as
scrawny.
she's eating. She's like, honestly, it sounds like he's just more of a protective older brother than anything.
Well, I mean, I like, I don't know if like it's okay to take up multiple contracts. I mean, I don't mind it. I mean, I like working with Shamar. She teaches
Um,
me a lot about combat, but I mean, if you can teach me more about magic, Valkyrie, that'd be nice.
I could probably teach you more than Eric can.
Huh.
Oh,
Damn.
Whoa.
Well, I mean, you know, you see
How
that he.
about we just settle it like
Um,
this? Eric, you need to treat your staff better, especially if you want him to hold a contract with you. It is obvious Mercurio is in high demand. So make the deal better. Don't constantly harass and bully him. Let him be okay
These are
on his
simply
own.
the terms of his training.
Mercurio run as fast
Last
as
I
you can.
remember, he was excited to go through pain.
Oh, I can tolerate it. I mean,
Celeste
So
honestly,
shakes
try
her
not
head.
to
She's like,
interfere
"No."
with my work.
Celeste just shakes her head. She's like,
me, 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 me.
I blow up Lena with my mind.
That was in character. Fuck
my,
you.
my fucking Lino.
Chamar will just
That
like
was in,
Chamar will just like
that
turn
was
to
in
fucking
character.
Mercurio. Chamar will just like turn to Mercurio and just be like, Mercurio, I don't think anyone should be told that pain should be enjoyable. I have been through much pain in my life, and
Huh.
I will say that it is hard to go through. I can go through it. I will go through it, but I don't think anyone that says you should be grateful for pain is someone you should be following. Colchis was someone who said I should be grateful for pain. I am
"Mhm."
not grateful for that pain. And I don't think that that is something you should strive for. If you need someone to train under, I am fine with doing so. But I don't think this is healthy, and I don't think that this overprotective ridiculousness, and she'll wave her hand in Eric's direction, is something you should consider. This has gone a bit farther than I think I would like. Let us not continue it any longer. Mercurio, you deserve better than that.
Oh.
Crudy then like speaks up. She's like, I can take him under my wing.
Oh.
You will do
Um.
no
Um,
such thing.
I mean.
And then
Entering
Crudy looks
multiple
to Eric and she's
contracts
like,
doesn't normally
Eric.
end well.
Crudy looks to Eric. She's like, well, you already have an apprentice. God damn these fucking. Um, Crudy looks to Eric. She's like, well, you already have an apprentice. I have been teaching some of the kids here in regards to magic. I think I'm more than capable in doing such a thing.
Oh.
You can continue teaching the children.
Well. If
Okay,
it-
how is Mercury any different then?
Mercurio's military prowess is what makes the difference.
Then why
Are
would
you
we
saying
ever
that
trust
I
Crudy
have
is
you?
not good,
military prowess.
may I can I say something?
No, you may not say
course.
anything about your own life.
You may.
Of course, Mercurio, go right ahead.
True, it's
Uh,
pretty. You may.
uh, I much prefer working with Shamar because Shamar has already taught me a lot of stuff. I mean, preferably I'd like working with Zoro and Shamar because like they're kind of in my speed where we work with like physical combat. Because honestly, the whole thing about being smart and everything, I can't really wrap my head around it. I just know that like for me, I just deal better when it comes to like physicality stuff. So magic doesn't really seem like my speed, and I thank you guys for the offer. But he looks over at you, Shamar. Is like, if you can, I'd be glad to be under your wing.
All right then, that settles that. And Shamar will just go over and like shake Mercurio's shoulder, and she'll just be like, "As of today, you are my trainee," which means he is under my rules, meaning that you do not burst into any room he is in, whether Celeste is in there or not, and you are allowed to eat and drink whatever you like.
Oh,
Good for you, Mercurio.
huh.
As long as he's not under Eric's wing, I'm happy.
Oh, well, that's better terms and conditions than my other master, Master Bara. Master Bara didn't allow me to do anything. He just had me sit in a room by myself for like days on end. It was a dark room
I think
too.
I went through that. Oh yeah, I think I went through that one. Mine was a forest. I was forced to go through in full plate armor. But I feel you. It is not great, you know?
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I just felt really weird. Like I just felt like really weird sitting in the darkness by myself. But
Yeah.
to each their own. I think. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think I'll be able to get some good training.
Good. Then once you are done with breakfast, we can figure out the start of that. And she'll just like shoot Eric a little glare, and she'll just be like, "But for now, let us have 4 moments of peace, shall we? Please."
Oh yeah. Oh, and I might have to push back on the training a little bit because I promised some of the people outside I'd help them with the moving some stuff. You know, kind of like
Oh,
helping
yes.
some construction.
No worries. No
Okay.
worries. I
All right.
understand. It's entirely fine. I will also need a small break as well because I do need to teach children and refugees how to start learning to fight. I don't want anyone to be unprepared.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. You see that he sits back down again as he pulls up another empty tankard and pours it with more orange juice. Like, okay, well, I guess I'll see you again later then, Jamar.
See you, indeed.
Okay.
Don't let yourself get taken advantage of, and if Eric says anything stupid, let me know. I'll kick his ass.
All right.
You can try.
You see that Mercurio quickly finishes his food, and you see that he like quickly grabs like a rag on the table and he like wipes his mouth with it as he takes one like in one shot just gulps down the orange juice in his tanker. He's like, "All right, well, I'm off to go help out the people." You see that he gets up from the table. He's like, "Oh, by the way," you see he leans out next to you. Celeste is like, "Oh, by the way, do you mind if you make some more apple pie? I promised some of the guys out there that I'd have them try some of like your amazing apple pie, and I think they're kind of looking forward to it. Is that okay? I hope it's not too bad, is it?"
No, not at all.
Okay, sounds good. You see that Mercurio gives you like a quick peck on the cheek before he leaves. Like, all right, well, I'm off. You see that he hurries out.
That poor bastard.
Anything else you guys do here before we do the time skip?
The
Zoro
only
then-
thing I'll say is, no, you're good. Go
Go.
ahead, go.
Zoro's just gonna, for the most part, just pick up whatever anybody left, clean up and all that, and then head over to Coco.
Okay, so we'll continue with Zoro in a bit. As for everybody else, after breakfast is all said and done, what does everybody do here?
I think Shamar's like, I think that last little piece of her memories that kind of came back probably granted her a bit of a new skill. And so she's just trying to figure out, like what it all means. So she's probably, getting out, like, trying to figure out how she's going to do this shit. So she's probably in a corner just, like, trying to figure out, like, recipes she just relearned and stuff.
Okay. So with that, we'll continue with Shamar as well. In a minute. Lino, Yaka, and Sailor. What is it that your characters are doing specifically?
Well,
I
Eric
think
has left without touching his food or drink and has retreated to his quarters.
Okay.
I think
Emo
I
ass.
think Karuni's going
Emo.
to go after him.
Okay. And Celeste?
I feel like she's gonna stay and help out Zoro with the cleaning.
Okay. And
We could talk.
what were you saying, Zoro?
I said perfect. We could talk.
Yeah, that's good. All right. And lastly, Falcrel. Lino, what is it that Falcrel is doing?
I think that she would just like, I don't know, probably hang out with Tal, and I think just take some time, read her books, that type of shit. That's shit that she's always doing.
Okay. Yeah. So you'll be Tao will be with you with that then. We'll continue with Shamar. So Shamar, you said that you wanted to see if there are any type of like recipes that you might have remembered. Recipes as to what exactly? Give me a bit of a rundown.
Her poison. Yeah. Her poison that she just kind of remembered that, like, half remembered, like, she doesn't know where it came from, but all of a sudden she got all these recipes in her head, and now she doesn't know what they're for.
Okay. For that, give me a history check.
All right. Woohoo! That's beautiful. That is a 4.
Shamar, you see that as you have like some parchment and as you have some parchment paper and like a feather with some ink, you put the feather in the ink and you begin to write down something from memory as you are like writing down something in Elvish, and as you finish writing, you see that you have made a recipe for a basic poison.
All right. Does she know it's basic poison, or does she just not know what that is at all?
She only just knows that it is a poison of some kind, but it's not something that's very powerful. That's about the extent of
Okay.
Shamar's. That's about the extent of Shamar's knowledge on that.
Okay, I guess then, like, Shimmer will just, like, kind of look at it, and after finding out what it is, she'll just, like, kind of get a little depressed again, because she's just like, oh, more about my own self I didn't know. But she'll probably, like, leave to head into town to see if she can't find the ingredients to make it, so that way at least she can find out, fully what it is.
Okay, yeah. So, you go out into the town and you see that there is a bunch of, there are buildings that are still being reconstructed. You see that there is a new shape that is happening towards Ravenfall, as there is, of course, new plans to rebuild it, but this time a bit more compact, as the city streets were much more dangerous. So, as you're walking throughout the streets, you manage to collect the materials. It's not really that hard. You just collected a couple herbs. As you return back and you create this concoction, you see that as you get a quick smell, you could definitely smell that this is definitely something putrid. Yeah, so you've made a concoction. Anything you want to... What is it that Shamar wants to do here to try to, like, test what she knows about this, or, like, to kind of, like, gain some knowledge about this concoction?
Well, she'll try and drink it.
Okay, give me a Constitution saving throw if you'd be so kind.
You've got it. Oh, that's beautiful. That's an 11.
Shamar, you see that as you take like one quick sip of it, you feel that your mouth begins to like burn with this kind of like weird acidity to it, that you spit it out onto the floor, and you see that your spit kind of like begins to like corrode into the wooden floor itself a little bit. And you see that you kind of like burnt a little bit the inside of your mouth. You took 4 points of poison damage. As
I resist that, so I took
that's
2.
2, so 2 points of poison damage.
Yeah.
And you can tell that you can tell like with the effects, this is pretty much what like the effects of a basic potion, or not potion, basic poison.
Okay. Shamar will just like kind of look at it, swirl it around, and be like, "Well, that is new." But she'll probably coat her lances in it, and that'll be the end for her.
Yeah, so the basic poison, when you coat it, you coat your weapons in a basic poison that will give your weapons a 1d4 of poison damage for 10 turns.
Okay, I was gonna say, okay, yeah, sure, that'll work.
All right, so you have now yourself. I'll give you. Let me make a roll real quick. See how many you've made.
If only we had an experienced alchemist.
Boo-hoo. I was gonna say, oh yeah, with my feet though, with the feet that I took for poisoning, I was gonna say it says I get 2d8, but did I just like not roll high enough for that? Because I did roll a 4, so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, with your feet, that will play into it as well. So, of course, you'll have the D4 that comes from the poison, but of course, the extra that comes from your feet. So.
Yeah, you're good. Thank you.
Shamar, you're able to create 2 bottles, of this basic poison.
Okay, cool.
Yep. So yeah, these 2 bottles of basic poison. Anything else?
Nope, that'll be all.
Sounds good. We will continue with Eric and Karuni. So, a few minutes after the end of breakfast, Karuni, you see that Eric immediately gets up and storms upstairs. And you see that as you look at his plate, you see that his plate is still untouched. And you see that he doesn't even have a tankard next to him with any type of liquid.
Kuruni, in that sense, she's going to place like some of the plates like onto a tray, and she's gonna carry it upstairs, where she's going to knock on his door.
Okay. Eric, as you made your way upstairs, I'm assuming you went directly towards your guys' room, right? Like straight to your guys' room?
Yeah.
Okay. You go straight to yours and Karuni's room, and you close the door and lock it, and you are here in your room now. Anything that
Eric's just gonna take a deep breath to himself.
Okay. You take a couple of deep breaths in this room, kind of getting a smell for what is in here. You can get the smell of fresh air from the window. And after a couple of after a couple of deep breaths, you hear some footsteps and a knocking at the door.
Pruning
Who
is
is it?
it's like, it's me. Don't worry about it.
It takes a while before Eric decides to unlock the door.
Okay. Um, Karuni, you stand there with the plate of Eric's food, which is starting to get a little cold, and of course a tankard of what kind of drink did you get for Eric?
She got him some apple juice.
Okay. So you got yourself a tankard. You got yourself a tankard of apple juice and have it there with him. And you stand at the door for a few moments before you hear a click and you hear the door open and you see that there's like a small opening in the door.
She just gives him like a small smile. She's like, well, you kind of left your food back there, and it's getting a bit cold.
I'm touched, but I'm not hungry.
Then Karuni's like, "Yeah, I understand. Sorry, I was a bit rough on you this morning."
Eric opens the door for her to enter.
Yep. So Karuni, you enter the room and you set the food down on the table. Yeah, and you look to see that Eric is there.
Karuni then she sits on the bed and she looks at him. She's like, "All right, want to talk about it?"
Why does no one listen to me?
Karuni just like holds a hand out to him, and she's like, "I don't think it's that nobody listens to you. Just
Then what would you call that? Fiasco in the dining hall.
you act too aggressive with your intentions. You're stubborn.
And
I
so?
will. Eric, you're the most stubbornest man I've ever met. But in some ways, I do like that about you. Though it is also your biggest weakness. You don't really know when to give up on stuff. And you really like to let people know about it.
But my way is always the best way. I feel like I'm the only one who knows what they're doing.
Because of your experience with it.
And no one seems to recognize that.
Because they have their own experience.
Brigadier General of the Great Demon War. And what does it mean to them? Nothing but a title card.
Well, yeah, everybody experiences stuff in different ways. They meet different people. Everybody comes from different walks of life. Not everybody here is a general. I sure ain't.
Yeah, but 3 people here are soldiers, and they shit for taking orders.
Well, because they're not looking at this in a militaristic standpoint like you are. They're using empathy with that. And
We're
I'm
on
not
the
saying
verge
that
of an apocalypse. They can hardly stand in line.
it's scary. I agree with you on that. It's scary, but we can't just rush into things without really knowing the consequences of it.
And the consequences of Mercurio under my training would be a better soldier, a better fighter, a better protector for Celeste, a better man for Celeste. But Shamar insists that she will be better for him. Valkyrie insists that she would be better for him.
I'm sensing a bit of narcissism in that, but well, it's I think because the way that you presented how you wanted to have Mikuru train under you is with pain, no compassion, no understanding. You just, it sounds
Pain
like
is
you,
the best teacher.
and is that really how you taught Celeste?
When it came to it.
Sure, she came out fine in terms of her magic, but have you ever asked her how she felt emotionally, mentally about it?
It's not about emotions or mentality, because those things don't matter when you're lying scattered in pieces on a battlefield.
And she's just like, she's like, you see that she's like kind of like fidgeting with her hands a bit. She's like, well, this isn't a battlefield. This isn't a battlefield. This is actual people we're dealing with. Of course, it's difficult for you because all you really understood was just military stuff. But I know you didn't really have all that great luck with, people.
People,
Yes. I I think you need work on that.
it might not be a battlefield, but it's still a reality we could face. I'm not willing to adverse that risk.
And what do you want me to do about that then? What should be my role in it, I guess I should say.
I don't know. It's not often that I say that, but I don't know.
I We're very different, the two, you and I, we're very different in, I guess, that. And thinking about it, I guess we never really talked about it.
Talked about what?
I guess how we really feel about everything that's happened, and we just kind of been lost in the moment with each other, whether we're, you know, hanging out or anything like that. And I forget about everything that's bad out there with you. And do you feel that way too with me?
Indeed, I feel like the weight of my troubles lifts itself off my shoulders. But escapism from reality is not an ideal solution.
Well, no, it's not.
It
Definitely not.
solves nothing.
No, I don't think that's what I'm trying to say. It's not right. I think. Oh, someone left. I think maybe we should find a different approach with this. We should definitely still think about, the whole apocalypse incoming thing, but I don't know, maybe try having some compassion, I guess, with this. Try to find an understanding with how people think and see why people see it differently than you might. Because really, what you're gonna do is you're gonna end up pushing Celeste away. And I don't think that's something you want to do. If you're actively saying you're gonna cause pain towards somebody that she cares about, then the only thing she wants to do is not really want to be around you anymore. I know if I was in her shoes, I probably wouldn't either. But I mean, that's just my thoughts
You know
on it.
I'm not good with compassion.
Well, you're not good with outwardly showing it, but I know you can. Of course, you act very differently with me. Well, I mean, I can maybe teach you if you want. What I think.
Even if you did, it wouldn't solve the other problem we have. Or I have.
Which is,
I can't get a single modicum of respect from the others.
you're kind of making a bit hard with that. If you're constantly being a bit impulsive, a bit irrational, a bit strict, a bit and you see Karuni's like kind of listing some bad properties.
Damn.
And then she looks and she's like,
I get it. I get
yes.
it. You don't get people to listen to you by being gentle. You don't ask, pretty please, may you do this thing. You need to tell them to. And if they respect you, they'll do it.
Sounds like you're just being kind of pushy with that.
That's how I was taught.
Well, I mean, you were raised in a society where people didn't respect you because of who you just happened to be born as. So of course you had to act upon aggression to gain it, but I mean things are different now. I mean, this town
We
is
have 3 people who understand that concept of authority and don't follow.
yes because they're their own person, and that's just they're just going with their own flow. Nothing wrong with that. Anyway, um, just try to be a bit more nicer with them at least.
I can't promise much.
At least some promise is good with me.
I can do my best. But I can't assure you that my best is enough.
You know what? I think any effort that you put in, I'll appreciate it. How about that?
I'll take it.
Okay. Now you're hungry?
No,
I'm back.
Zoro does not know how to steam vegetables.
God damn! Oh no!
Okay.
My ear kind of twitches a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Celeste, as you are helping Zoro, you see, you feel an odd sense of like malice as you look over and you see Zoro's face. You see Zoro kind of like have like a very angered look on his face, and then you see it goes back to normal, and you see he goes back to washing dishes.
My bitch senses went off. Sorry. Continue.
My bitch senses went off. Um, Yeah, so you guys share a very nice and somber moment as, of course, Eric's food gets cold. You guys kind of sit there and begin, getting yourselves waded through with each other. We will cut to Zoro and Celeste, coincidentally enough. Zoro and Celeste, you guys are like cleaning up whatever's left on the table. Of course, bringing in some. You see that Zoro is over there cleaning up the plates. Celeste, you're just gathering up all the plates and tankards and you're bringing them over to Zoro for him to clean. um what is it that Zoro is kind of like meandering about in his mind while he is cleaning dishes?
Um, Actually, he was gonna have a talk with Celeste.
Oh, okay. Yeah, absolutely. So, Zoro, as you see that Celeste comes in with the last batch of plates and bowls and tankards, you see that Celeste turns around to get ready to leave.
One quick thing. I have some questions for you.
Oh, oh, yeah, sure. What is it?
Are you okay?
Um, yeah, think I think
Are
so.
you sure?
Um, what do you mean?
I ain't never seen you so distressed in your life.
Um, well, I mean, I've never really seen Eric act that angry before. I mean, it's, I guess, a bit understandable. I mean, um, with everything that happened last night, yeah,
Right.
but,
I understand where he's coming from in a lot more ways than one. He is scared, and understandably so. He's been through a lot. He's dealt with this enemy that we have, and he's lost enough to where he doesn't want to lose no more. But as you said, his anger can sometimes get the best of him, and that's where I have to disagree with him. What made me upset with him probably would be the fact that he treats Mercurial as a soldier and not as a human. I have been treated a soldier my whole life, and this has been a fresh air ever since I've been with y'all. And given the fact that Mercurial has been in the army for a while now, he doesn't always need to be a soldier. And that seems to be what Eric was trying to do. But enough about them. I'm more so worried about you, on how you feel about everything.
you, Celeste, she's like really thinking about it, and then she like kind of like takes a seat, and she's like, if you want my complete honesty, I'm, I feel a bit lost. I
Zoro,
mean,
go ahead, go ahead.
it, everything that happened before when I it was revealed that I am Astra's daughter, I don't really know how I'm supposed to feel. I feel lost and confused, and sometimes I see these like visions, and I want to learn more about it, but everywhere that I look, everywhere that I try to find it, there's like little information about it, and I want to ask somebody for help, but I don't even know where to begin. And knowing too that now that I'm a goddess's daughter, especially one that we're supposed to be worshiping, I wonder if I'm really her daughter, if I'm supposed to be this quote unquote chosen one. Why don't I get some guidance from her? I I don't know.
That is definitely not something I can help you with.
And you don't
I'm not
have to. I understand.
a religious person myself. However, um, have you talked to anybody else about this?
No, I kind of have a habit of not really talking to people about my emotions. Um, it's not. It's mostly just due to just personal reasons why I do it. I know it's not healthy, but
Understand.
I feel like whenever I try to speak up about something, I feel like I'm always put down with it. So I just kind of I kind of just put it off to the side and just try to forget it and hope that it doesn't come back. And
Delaying the inevitable.
yeah,
That I have my own trouble with myself. A lot of things happen to be in my mind, and I tend to push those back. However, and Zoro goes ahead and takes a seat next to her. I don't really. You know these people, Eric Mercurio. Well, I would say the others, but you've known those two the most. And the fact that you haven't talked to me about it means that this is definitely something that's bothering you. Now, I understand why maybe you wouldn't talk to Eric about it, but maybe, maybe give him a chance. At the end of the day, he only wants what's best for you. And if you need some help with that, I'm more than happy to make sure that it doesn't just undermine anything that you say. I would also say maybe, well, maybe not Mercurio. Maybe wait on that. But Eric,
Mercurio's a nice guy. He is. But
not the smartest, but he's one of the best I know.
yeah,
And
definitely.
well, I would just say talk to him. Eric cares a lot about you, and if anything, we'll figure out a way to make sure that he shuts up enough so that you can say your piece. But
I think I think with Eric, I'll speak with him, but I want to do things with my own accord.
I see.
I just need to essentially just step up. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do.
Go ahead and do that then. And it seems you have an idea now. Nice change of pace, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Um, thanks
Of
again.
course. Talk to me again if you need another ear. I'm always open.
And then Celeste like gives like a nod, and she gets up, and she heads upstairs.
So I was gonna go ahead and just finish up down there and then go ahead and hang out with Coco, do catch up and stuff.
Okay. So Celeste leaves and she goes upstairs, and you finish up getting the rest of the plates and tankards all cleaned up and everything. You get your hands all dried up and sanitized and everything. You make your way out to see that Tal and Falcarel are still there. See that Tal's kind of got his head down, almost looking like he's asleep, as Falcarel is just scrolling through a couple books. You pass them, make your way upstairs, and you go over, and almost as if recognizing it, you see that Coco has already been sitting at the top of the stairs as you are making your way up.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna just go ahead, wave my hand, and we're gonna go ahead and head out and just bond.
All right. So you take Coco with you, and you guys, both of you just kind of like stroll through the street. You see that some of the soldiers are helping the others, helping the other people, pick up some of the rubble, carry it away, and help with some of the reconstruction. You see that some of them stop to give you salutes and everything, and you see that some of the other, citizens of Ravenfall kind of like, say hi to you, and kind of some of the children come around and give Coco a few scratches and whatnot. You guys, and after a bit, you guys make your way out of Ravenfall, to the stone steps that the stone walkway that just leads out into a major section of road towards the forest. You guys kind of walk through, and you look through at some of the forest that's around. You kind of, it gives you a bit of some reminiscence of the earlier times that you were with the party, when you guys first got trapped in when you of course first met the party in a cage of all places, and kind of scroll through and kind of find yourself a nice spot out in the forest, kind of like have a seat, as Coco kind of like sits there next to you and kind of lays down.
So I was just gonna breathe in deeply, and then he's just gonna start petting Coco and be like, "How have you been?"
You see that Coco looks up to you, and you can hear it in your mind. He says, "I am doing well, and you?"
Well, I'm sure you already know how I'm doing.
Still conflicted.
Very.
Why not seek counsel?
Well, not too many people I fully trust yet. And those that I do trust, I don't want to burden them with more issues that I have.
You see that Coco, sorry. You see that Coco lays down, and you hear in your head again saying, "Well, from one soldier to another. Speak your mind."
And then Zoro will just open up everything that's happened the past couple weeks involving, you know, them having to fight so many ghouls, Zoro, Shamar going through everything, him damn near getting close to death from Baxter, and just everything that's been happening. How honestly he kind of feels alone.
Um.
He doesn't feel. What's that?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, I was letting you finish.
He feels that when he went to go look for the soldiers, everybody else was doing their own thing, and that burden kind of fell hard on him, which is why he needed to take that 1 week little stay over at Hell. Um, he needed a distraction and just something that he's more used to. But, having to have bury so many soldiers and speak to so many people about the dead, it took a really huge toll on him that he has been very silent on.
Okay. Um. You open up to Coco about everything, and Coco doesn't really respond much. He just lets you kind of lets you just pour out whatever permeates throughout your consciousness, um and it kind of trails on for a good hour or so, as you kind of begin to open up with Coco. Coco just sits there and listens to your problems, let you pour it out, get it out of your system. And by the end of it, Zoro, you begin to feel a very odd, small sense of like tranquility almost, as you finish pouring out whatever was left that kind of like invades your mind. As you finish getting all of your thoughts out, um, it's almost as if you feel like there is a like weird sense of like enlightenment that happens in Zoro, that allows him to kind of like, rather than allowing himself to kind of let those very intense memories permeate throughout. He allows them to kind of like drift off, almost like Zoro begins to have a small ounce of like acceptance from that, and that the position that he's in, he begins to get a bit of an understanding of what his previous general, when he was in the army, was like. Because throughout the times that Zoro had been working with his general, he always noticed that his general rarely spoke, but if he did, the only person he would speak to was you. And you begin to make almost like a connection of sorts, where he opened up his life to you, almost like what you're doing to Coco. And through this, you had pretty much ended up creating a much stronger bond with Coco than was once previously known. And as you finish up, you get up and you begin making your way back, only to see that there are people by the gate, hooded figures by the gate, 3 in particular. As you go towards them, you see those hooded figures look at you, and they wander away almost. And you kind of like in your tranquil state, don't really pay too much mind to them, as you see them, walk off away in another direction, away from Ravenfall, as you make your way back in. And as you are walking back into Ravenfall, you begin to see Ravenfall in a new light, almost like this is almost like a second home for you, where you've not only saved the people here, but you've built genuine connections with them, and have almost become like almost having like almost like a second family here in Ravenfall, not just with the party, but with the people who have families. Some of your fellow soldiers have introduced you to their families that have survived Ravenfall, to have survived the incident at Ravenfall, and you've had the time of your lives with them. You've gone through, you've trained them in the ways that you were taught, albeit a little more tame, you made sure that you had them all just settled up and just ready to face whatever battles ahead, in not just Ravenfall's name, but in yours specific, Zoro. In the sense that you've inspired these soldiers enough to want to not only protect the people that they swore to protect in Ravenfall, but to swear to aid their commander in any shape or form that they can to their capacity. And even if they do not have the capacity to do so, they will try to go above and beyond to make sure that their commander is able to get the mission done. And you, upon with this clarity, begin to look at Ravenfall as, more of just almost like a new life that you've kind of built up along with the one that you currently have. And you begin meandering the streets. You see that humans and elves alike are just, helping each other with the reconstruction of Ravenfall and the safety, and making sure that there are any survivors that are left over. They bring them to the church for healing. And you meander throughout the streets. Where does Zoro go throughout these streets?
Um, Probably go back to the tavern, either the tavern or figure out where Shamar is training the kids at.
Okay. Um, you kind of like begin meandering the streets, checking up a couple places. You pop your head back into the tavern. You see that this time both Tal and Falcro both have their heads down, and are both fast asleep. And you go back out. Take another quick walk around the streets until you hear some laughter happening, and you kind of like make your way closer to see that Shamar is indeed teaching the kids. But you see that also Shamar is almost smiling as she is looking at, as she is taking care of these children. You see that, she's teaching them proper form of fighting with certain weaponry. But throughout this bit, you see that as she's like giving them instructions and teaching them proper like techniques, you can almost see that you can swear that you can almost see like a small smile go across Shamar's face. Shamar, as you are here teaching the refugees and elves combat, or the basics of combat, you see that you were so focused on teaching them that you didn't even notice that Zoro was kind of like standing there and just looking at you with Coco next to him.
Shamar will just like kind of like jump back when she sees him and be like, huh, "What are you doing just standing there? You here?"
I am watching something incredible happen in front of me.
The air?
No, you actually smiling.
I've smiled many times. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but not in that much of a relaxed way.
Uh, I don't know what you mean. Like, I don't notice that much of a difference. I'm still the same Shamar I have always been.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, what is going on here?
Oh, I'm here. What is going on with you? You seem almost and like Shamar will like wave her hand in front of Zoro's face, and she'll just be like, "Seem kind of out a bit. Are you okay?"
I had a lot of thinking that I've been doing. A bit better now, but I need something again to just kind of turn my brain off.
I see. Well, if you are in need of someone to speak with about the things you cannot handle alone, I will do my best if you would like to let me listen. If you want a distraction, though, I am training the children, the refugees, so
Oh
that
no,
way, should such
uh,
a tragedy happen again, we
yeah.
will be better
Let it
prepared.
stop. If anything, honestly, I could probably help out with that.
I will.
Are you sure it would not be, how you say, a burden? If you are already deep in thought, I did not want to disturb you.
I am pretty sure that all this will do is help me more than I
I
do
will.
appreciate it, sir.
I will chime in a little bit. As you guys are, conversing, hear a voice kick in. Right. So, want to get a bit better with some things, eh? And you see, as turning over from a corner, almost like a dark corner, you see that Aragon comes out, and you see that he has a backpack on him. You see that Aragon comes out. He says, "Well, this is a touching reunion. Nice to see that some of my customers are getting along with each other. Oh, is that little Coco? Oh, I remember when he was little." You see that Coco goes over and he rubs up next to Aragon. He's like, "Yeah, I remember you. I remember you. Oh, that's right. So I've got actually something for the both of you. Let me go grab that real quick." You see that he takes off his bag and he opens it, and you see that he rummages through in it, and he's like, "Oh, right. So this one," you see that he pulls out a very familiar set of gauntlets to you, Zoro. He says, "So we couldn't get everything finished yet, as some of my colleagues have yet to procure some of the materials for the other things, So, but I did get this finished. Give these a try." As he holds out the gauntlets to you.
Zara will go ahead and put the gauntlets on.
You put the gauntlets on, and they fit very snug in your hands. Like, you have a very nice range of motion with your wrists, but you also have like a fingerless portion at the top as well. And you also feel that like a small sense of like almost like spectral armor kind of like kicks in for you. As Aragon looks like, "Right, so I got that done. I did get this one as well." You see that Uncle?
Thing is happening.
Sorry, I was talking to me. You see that Aragon looks at you, Shamar. He's like, "I've got something for you and your people. Let me just get this out real quick." You see that he rummages through his bag, and you see that he pulls out 4 individual separate packs or pouches, or not pouches, sorry, sacks of things. And you see it as he opens up each of the sacks. You see that there are supplies. Each of them have there's a sack that's full of different types of weaponry that seems to be like of varying sizes. You see that there's another one that has varying clothes and water skins and type of basically some basic necessity supplies. Another pouch he opens has like armor and a bunch of other pieces of equipment that of different sizes, and you see that he opens up the last one to see that there is a neatly wrapped box. As Aragon goes over, he's like, "So I know that your people have run into a rough patch lately, and I've decided to pitch in a little bit. So I've made a bunch of these materials and a bunch of stuff with some good quality materials. So yeah, these are all for you and for your people, and I hope you enjoy. Oh, it's on the house. Don't worry about paying it."
Are you sure? I mean, this is a lot.
No, don't worry. Don't worry about that. I have a lot of materials that I get from a lot of my clients, so I don't need to worry about materials. These are just extra materials that I've got from previous projects that I've reshaped into something that will be helpful for your people. And of course, I've got some clothing. I don't know if some of the clothing will fit. If there's some missing clothing, please do blow the horn and let me know. I will definitely see if my wife can be able to make some more material, some more clothing for you guys. But yeah, this is for your people and any of the refugees that might need it. And I hope you see the sizing and liking to your people.
I don't know what to say. If you need anything, please let me know. I'll come running.
No. I couldn't ask that of my client. I merely work as just a simple blacksmith. He nudges you, he like elbows you a little bit, so he's like, "Is that right?" Oh,
Zoro?
Oh, you're talking to me.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's too high right now.
Yeah.
Zoro's just gonna nah. Zoro's just gonna be Zoro's just gonna nod and say, yeah, no, absolutely. By the way, I oh yes, you might want to meet up with Eric later. He has something for you.
Oh, that's right. You told me about that before. I remember that on our last visit, but I completely forgot about it when I was talking to you. Because, all right, I was just fascinated by the weapons that Shaymar was using. So yeah, but yeah, I'll definitely go. Where is he now?
Somewhere in the tavern.
All right.
Don't
Well,
know specifically, but just yell out his name and he'll probably come out.
sounds good. I'll go ahead and make my way to the tavern. Do you know where the tavern is here? I know that the place is kind of like, a little bit destroyed, but I'm still kind of not used to the streets of Ravenfall.
Yeah. It's you know what? I'll go ahead and I'll take you there real quick.
Oh, oh, oh! If that's okay, that's fine. Yeah, because I hope I wasn't intruding on something important here.
Oh
I just
no,
wanted to
no.
make sure I
It's
got my.
No.
I'll be back anyway, so it's fine.
Okay, sounds good.
Coco.
You see that Coco looks up at you.
Go ahead and help out Shaymar with whatever she needs until I get back. Let's go, Aragon.
You see that Aragon looks like, all right. I get a tour of Ravenfall. I like that. I'll see you next time, Shaymar. And remember, if you got materials and you got an idea for something, do let me know, and I'll make it for you. All right?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. You're the sword. You're welcome. You're welcome. Shall we get going?
Yes, let us go.
All right. Shaymar, you see that Coco goes over and he sits next to you as both of you watch Aragon and Zoro leave to go back towards the tavern. I'm assuming that Shaymar is going to start distributing some of the stuff. I just want to do this a little bit of flair real quick before we continue with Zoro.
Yeah, no, you're good. Shamar will just like round up everybody, and she'll just like be like, "All right, everybody. Well, we've run into a spot of good luck. Finally, pick a weapon that you'd be interested in learning. Get some armor to learn how to move in that. Very important. And I will do my best to teach all of you. We have clothing, we have wineskins, we have water. Whatever you need, make sure to take it."
You see that the people begin, pulling out the stuff that's in the bag, and there's like quite a bit of weapon and materials, or not materials, weapon and equipment that is in there. They're like pulling out like daggers, swords, bows, halberds, great swords, great axes. They're pulling out like a bunch of different weapons from each of the sacks, and there's a lot, at least about 15 of each weapon type that is like just being pulled out of the weapon sack, and then a bunch of different armors that are just being pulled out, and a lot of water skins and fresh clothing. But there seems to be one that catches your eye, Shaymar, is the very last sack that has this like very neatly wrapped box in it, and you see that it has a small tag on the top of it.
Okay, Shamar will like, once everybody else has their stuff and like she's making sure nobody's about to hit themselves in the head with a hammer or something, she'll probably just like take a minute and like look at the box in more detail.
You take a look at the box and you look at the tag and you see that the tag says for Shamar.
Well, all right then. Shamar will just like kind of look the box over and then just kind of open it, kind of confused.
You begin unwrapping. You begin like taking off some of like the wrapping around it, and you open it, and inside you see that there is another small box. And as you take it and you open it, you see that in this box is a necklace. And as you are looking at this necklace, you open it. There's like a pendant portion, and you open it, and you see something odd. You see that there is a picture inside that has you, but also a woman next to you. And you both seem to be smiling in this picture.
Okay. Do I know who that is?
Give me a history check.
Time to roll another 4.
Use tactical mind.
Oh yeah, I forgot I have tactical mind.
Tactical
Yeah.
mind.
I totally fucking forgot I had that. All right, so that's a 15, and then I'll use tactical mind. Oh no, that's only when you fail an ability check. So I got a 15.
Okay.
Did she fail?
She did not fail.
Yay.
Shamar, you.
Me when I'm in a being useful competition, and my opponent is Zoro.
Shamar, as you begin looking closer at the face of this woman, you see that a very clear memory kind of kicks back to you as it's almost like you are in this picture. You see that you and this woman are, laughing, having fun, like over by what seems like something like sand on your feet that you can kind of feel. As you see that there is like water around you, and you and this lady are running throughout this beach. I'll just put it plainly. You guys are both like running through this beach, laughing, chasing each other, throwing water on each other and everything. And you look over and you see a odd figure in this memory, one that seems to don a very familiar black clothing. And as you look closer at this individual, your memory cuts and you're back here looking at the pendant again.
All right, Shamar will just kind of shake herself out of it a little bit. Probably still dazed, but this is not the first time she's gone through this. So she'll probably just put the pendant back in the smaller box and just set the smaller box aside so that way it doesn't get, scuffed or damaged or anything. And then she'll probably just get back to work.
You see as well that as you put away the smaller box, you see that inside the bigger one, you see that there is a cloth at the bottom of it. And as you take out this cloth, you see that this cloth is a scarf. And you feel a nice sense of warmth that comes from warmth that comes from this scarf. And as you wrap it around you, it's a scarf of fire resistance. So you have now a scarf of fire resistance, which gives you resistance to fire attacks.
Oh, nice, awesome.
So you keep it with you, and you take the.
I wonder what our next big bad is gonna be fighting with.
All right, so you finish up there. So we'll finish up with Shamar there. Zoro, you and Aragon are beginning to make you and Aragon are making your way to the tavern. You get about halfway before you see that Mercurio comes running in. A lot of dirt, and you see there's a lot. His clothes are dirty, and he's wearing his fancy clothes, by the way. It's just that he's not wearing his jacket, so he's wearing his fancy shirt and pants and shoes. You see that he comes over with this very dirty outfit. He's like, Zoro. Whew. Sorry, it took took a little longer to help those guys out. There's a lot of stuff over there. Whew, I hope I'm not too late. Where's the training happening?
Well, Shamar is training the kids right now down over by the barracks, I believe.
Okay. Alright, I'll go make my way there then. Thanks, Zoro. You see that
Of course,
he...
buddy.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I just said, of course.
You see that Mercurio continues running down toward the other direction, back the way you guys came from. And you see that Aragon looks at you and says, who is that guy you're talking to?
His name's Mercurio. Why?
Oh, nothing. You just seem like a nice guy. No, somewhat.
Oh.
Is it normal for humans to wear fancy clothes wherever they go to whenever they're doing like construction work? Is that normal?
But Mercurio's not really a normal human either.
Oh, is he like a half breed? Is he like a hybrid? Is he like...
No, just he's very, very simple. And he likes to get the job done however and whenever possible.
Huh. I like that. Simple's always
It is
good.
an admirable quality of his.
Well, I think so. Right. And you guys make your way out to the tavern. You see that Aragon looks at you, he's like, so I'm gonna take a guess. This is the tavern, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm assuming I'll just go make my way in and go find him.
Well, I don't know if you'll want to go find him. If anything, we have some people here that'll go find him for you. He's not in the best mood right now. We don't want you to accidentally get a fireball thrown to the face.
Oh. That sounds like Eric, actually. I thought if I remember when we were in prison, I thought he threatened me with like a fireball or something down there. I don't know. I don't remember.
Pretty sure he did.
Well, should I like wait out here or should I like?
Wait inside the tavern and talk to one of the workers there. They'll be able to get Eric for you.
Okay, all right. Should I? Never mind. Actually, should I be asking them like certain things? Because my common is still not up there. It's still a little rusty. So
Just ask him for. Just ask them for Eric with a K.
Okay, all right. I'll just go try it in then. You see that Aragon makes his way out to the entrance. As for Zoro, what does he do?
Just gonna go back and start helping Shamar train the kiddos and the other people.
Okay, so you go back to Shamar, and Shamar, of course, you are back to training, and of course Mercurio comes in, still wearing his fancy clothes and very, very sweaty and very dirty. But you see that Mercurio, regardless, still trains in his clothes. And we'll cut there with Zoro to Falcrol for a few brief moments. You see, are you here, Lino? Are you awake? Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh
this is a
no.
common occurrence. Hold on, I'll give her a ping.
Maybe okay, why don't I disconnect her from the call and then somebody calls her? Or why don't somebody call her now? Ish?
Bye.
Yeah, we'll continue it with Aragon as well, but we'll make it a little different. All right, that's fine. So we'll continue with Aragon. Celeste. I'm assuming Celeste is still inside of the tavern, right, Sailor?
Yes.
Okay. So Celeste, you see that as you are, having some small chatter with the maids and, helping out with a bit of the cleaning, you hear a knock at the tavern door.
Oh, I guess I'll get that. And Celestia goes to open it.
You open the door and you don't really see anything at first until you look down and you see Aragon. And you see
Oh,
Aragon look at you. He's speaks to you in Elvish. He's like, do you know Elvish?
yes.
Oh, oh, okay. Uh, so, right. So, Zoro brought me here because I was told I was supposed to go speak to Eric.
Oh, yeah,
He
I can.
already told me he's not in the best of moods. So, if you could just let him know that I'm here, and I don't know, I'll probably go inside and get a drink.
Sure, just, give me a moment. You, I guess, make yourself comfortable.
Okay,
And,
okay,
Celestia goes up to Eric's room to see if she can retrieve him.
okay. You go up and you knock on Eric's door. And you see opening the door is Eric, but you also see that Kuruni is also in the background as well.
Oh, am I interrupting something?
Not at all.
Okay, Aragon is looking for you.
Eric, like nudges his head to the side, uh, indicating a blueprint and his staff on one of the desks. Take that to him.
Um, sure. And Celeste goes and she retrieves the items before making her way back.
And make sure he knows if anything becomes of that gem, what it's not supposed to be. Every breath he takes from there on out is a mercy.
Yeah, I'll let him know. And then she goes downstairs to take
Uh,
the items to Aragon.
all right. You go downstairs and you see that Aragon has had a seat, and you see that he's having a tankard of some juice. As you bring the items to him, he says, "Oh, you're back. So, I'm assuming he's not wanting to talk, right?"
Celeste just shakes her head. She's like, the only thing he really told me in regards to this was just to make sure the gem is protected, that nothing's altercated.
Okay. You see that he sees you holding the staff in like a roll of parchment. He's like, "I'm assuming those are the two things he wants to give me, right?"
Yeah, these just these two.
Okay. So the staff, it's a very nice looking staff. The wood's varnished. They made sure that they got all the crux out. It's made with some very delicate materials too. I wonder how they made this. Alright, well, I'll just, let me go ahead and try something. You see that he puts the staff down on the table and he opens up the parchment. He's like, okay. Oh, okay. So that, as he's still looking at the parchment but pointing at the staff, he's like, that goes right here. And then I'm gonna need some things for that there, and then a couple of extra. Yes. Okay. Oh my god! The fucking sound effect killed me. I'm sorry. Sorry. Oh shit! Sorry. um. You you see Aragon roll up the paper, roll up the parchment. He says, "All right, so I'll see what he wants me to do here. I'm gonna take a guess, right? That the the initials here for Melith Karnas. Have you spoken to him, by the way?"
Who again?
Melith Karnas. He's a well, he used to be an artisan that used to make staffs, but unfortunately he went a little crazy and decided to go a little whack.
Does Celeste know him?
You know that. You know what? Give me a history check. Give me a history check.
Hey. That's the 25.
25. The name Melith Karnas kind of rings out to you as you remember looking through a couple of some books about as you were looking through a couple of some books as you were trying to look for any information about Astra. You came across the name Melith Karnas a couple times, and you know that he was indeed a very famous stave maker. But you also remember that during the fight that you guys had with the Hydra, you noticed that there was another individual that was there who on their jacket had a on their collar portion at the back had the name Melith Karnas on the back of it when he was dead, and you guys were investigating his body. That's
right. In this case, Celeste looks to him and she's like, it's a funny story about that.
Oh?
So we were helping a friend out to complete this quest in defeating a Hydra, and he showed up.
Oh!
And yeah. Unfortunately, though, he was perished.
Perished? Oh. How did he die?
The Hydra ate him.
Oh. Oh dear. Yeah, those things are very nasty bastards. Oh geez.
Yeah, he just appeared, and poor guy was just stuck in the middle of it, and
Oh dear. What a tragic way to end for such a brilliant artisan.
Yeah.
Well, all right. That's. Oh well. Well, I guess I lost my bet with Melith then. Damn. Oh well, that's fine. I'll have a drink in his name later. Yeah, all right. So I'll take this parchment. You see that he rolls the parchment around the staff. He's like, all right. So I'll take this parchment and the staff. Was there anything else you want me to take with me?
Celestine thinks about it, and she's like, well, Mara can use some work. It's not really in the best conditions anymore. And then she takes her scimitar. She's like, what can you do with this?
Oh, is that a Yuan-Ti scimitar? Oh, you see that he puts down the staff and he takes your blade and he examines it. He's like, this is actually very, very odd. Huh. The craftsmanship on it is a little questionable. As you see that he kind of points out the blade and he stares down the back end of it, and he's like, yeah, the blade's a little warped to the left a little bit. Do you know who owned this blade previously? Because I'll tell you, they really did not take care of this blade when you found it.
Be honest, no, because it was an enemy.
Oh. Ooh. Yeah, the Yuan-Ti are known to make enemies out of almost anybody that's not snake-like, so that's understandable. But this is... I'm actually surprised. Do you know of a people called the Saranids?
Can I make another history check?
Give me a history check.
23.
You know that through some of your research that you had done previously that the Saranids are pretty much like an elite group of UNT that are essentially like a special task force that are given specialty missions for certain things, assassinations, capturing of certain information, this and that. So but you know that this order of Saranids did not. It was told in books that they had gone long extinct way long ago when there was a pact made with the Yuan-Ti and the Grash before a temporary ceasefire almost, to put their differences aside to face a greater foe. But about that, that's about it. You know that that's about as much of the extent of the research that was seen by Celeste.
Okay. So this is like, well, I used to read about them, but I've never personally met one. This list is like, you're asking like as if I know these things. I mean, these are information probably from like hundred and something years ago.
Yeah, so the blade that you've got here, its design is very similar to that of a blade that the Saranids would use. And usually these blades would have a very odd special mechanism somewhere in the handle. You see that you hear a click and you see that the pommel pops out and clatters onto the floor. It's like, oh, okay, well that's new. So that's the thing that I remember that some of the Saranid blades had. You see that he tilts the blade out, and you see that a small scroll comes out from the handle. He says, "Okay, so that's new. Judging that it's like this, I think this might have been very recent. Do you want this parchment?"
Yeah, not really bad idea to get more information.
Okay.
She takes it and she begins to unroll it.
Do you know Abyssal?
Er, no.
Okay.
Very
Um,
teaching for everything, but not abyssal. Crazy.
um,
I know,
you
right?
you read as you unravel this scroll. You see that this like language is scrawled out all over onto this parchment, and it's like really hard to like understand what it is that it's talking about.
Okay, great. She looks to Erica. She's like, "Do you happen to know what this means?"
Oh, let me see. Sorry, I mislabeled it. Not abyssal. Demonic, which is the old demon language.
No.
You mean infernal?
Infernal. Sorry, I'm brain deading this right now.
Yeah.
You see that Aragon looks over at this part. You see that he looks at this paper. Is like, okay, it's kind of hard to read. This looks like it might be something made in Infernal, which is a very older language of Abyssal. Do you know anyone who speaks Infernal? Anybody here that might know it?
Um, a couple actually, yeah.
Okay. Well, you see that he rolls it back up and hands it to you. He's like, well, take that and go ahead and deliver it to whoever you need. Because I can't really read it much, but it seems to be like a note of warning for something, but I don't know. So, definitely go ahead and bring that to somebody. You see that he goes over and he picks up the pommel. You notice that as you look at the pommel, you see that there is also like a dagger-like portion inside of the pommel. As Aragon looks over, he's like, yeah, so the Sirens usually had like a little bit of a dagger piece that they would put on the end of the blades to signify that they're part of their Serenid. But since it's not really useful anymore, do you still want the blade?
You know what? I'll take it.
Okay. You see that he puts the pommel back on, and you hear a click again as the pommel stays in place. Like, okay, well, this thing is in a very, very rough shape. So if you'd like, I can go ahead and take it to my shop and do what I can. I mean, I don't know what I can really do besides probably straighten the blade, maybe get off a little bit of some rust that's gotten underneath the handle. Do you want me to reduce the size of this, by the way? Because I noticed that it seems like a fairly much bigger sword than like compared in your hands. I don't know if you want me to change that.
You know what? Any maintenance is good, so I'll leave it in your hands.
All right. Creative liberty. I like that. All right. I'll go ahead and go take this with me. You see that he puts it, and then he like puts the staff on top of it as he's holding it. He's like, all right. Anything else?
I think that is it.
Okay. Sounds good. I'll go ahead and sorry, I can't really reach it, but you see that he kind of like nudges his head in a direction as you see that there is a horn placed on the table. He's like, can you blow the horn for me, please? I kind of got my hands full, so I can't really blow the horn.
Oh, sure. She grabs it and hands it to him.
Aragon is
Or
holding.
no,
Yeah.
he wants her to. Okay. I guess she looks at it and she like she blows the horn and she's like,
You see that as you blow the horn, this like deep bellowed sound, like this deep bellowed bass, like permeates out inside of this tavern, and you see that a like portal opens up next to you. And he's like, "Thank you. I'll be right back. Can you hold my my horn for the meantime? I just need to go put these away."
yeah, I'll hold it.
Okay. You see that he steps through, and a couple minutes later, he comes back out. He's like, "All right, I'll take my horn back."
And then she hands it to him.
You see that he takes it, and it has like a little like shoulder strap on it as he like shoulders his horn. He's like, "All right, I'm gonna be on my way now. Give Zoro my regards. Say hi to Shamar for me, and yeah, I'll be going. Thank you for your time. One more thing. I need to hand this to someone. You see that he reaches into the portal and he pulls out this like very elegant looking bow. As he looks over and he kind of stands the bow next to him, and it's like very big, very much bigger than him. He looks over, it's like, so, I remember that you guys had an elf in your party, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, that's Karuni.
Karuni, that's a name. Right, so I have this made for her because this was a prototype of a bow I made before, but I kind of saw it collecting dust in the corner of my room, so I didn't want it like that. So I've fixed it, and I've made it something that maybe she might be able to use. Can you pass this on to her for me?
Oh, of course I will. And then she gently takes the bow.
Yep, you take the bow, and you notice that the bow is like very lightweight in your hands. Even though you can feel that it has like a metallic feel to it, it's very lightweight.
Ooh. Interesting.
Yeah,
Alright.
it just
And then
pass it along to her for me. It's just something that I needed to make because I didn't want it to clutter up space in my room.
that's fine. I have a feeling she might like it.
All right, it's good to hear for some customers. I'll be on my way now. You see that he goes through the portal, and you see that the portal like unravels itself and disappears.
Ooh. In that case, then Celeste is going to make her way up to back to Eric's room, to deliver the bow and also Karunino's Infernal.
Okay. So you go back up to your room and you knock on the door. And you hear a bunch of very sloppy footsteps to the door, and you see Eric again opening the door.
It's me again.
Back already.
Yeah, Aragon is already taking care of what he needs to. In the meantime though, she shows the bow and she's like, "This is for Karuni."
Take the bow.
Karuni stands up, she's like, "For me? What is it?"
It's a bow.
Eric, you notice that this bow is very lightweight when you hold it. And of course, you notice that this bow glimmers and it is indeed made with metals, but it just seems like, and you notice that when you pull back the string, it pulls back. You see that when you pull back the string, it pulls back very gently, but then when you let go, it releases this whoosh of wind.
Uh-huh.
Courtney looks to it and she's like, "Ooh, let me see that." She takes it from Eric and she like, she tests it. She like pulls the string. She looks at the material and everything, and she definitely looks impressed by it. She's like, "I like this."
For metagame purposes, this is a bow that was homebrewed. It is a bow called Hunter's Prey. Now, Hunter's Prey is a +3 bow that also has a special feature to it, which essentially like a better version of Hunter's Mark. So the way it works is whenever it has an ability called Hunter's Insignia, where whenever you target a creature and you hit them with this bow, you can decide whether you want to place an insignia on them or not. And this insignia allows you to do an extra 2d8s of piercing damage to said target for 3 turns. However, there can only
Nice.
be one creature targeted at a time with this insignia.
Got it. All right. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, Courtney looks at it and she's very impressed by it, and you can tell like she really likes it. And then Celeste is then going to be like, "Oh, actually, one more thing to ask." And she holds the parchment, the parchment paper, and she's like, "I need you to translate this for me." To which Courtney takes it and she like looks at it and sees that it's infernal. And she's like, "All right, just give me a moment." And she begins to read through it.
As you read through it, there's not much written on the page. There's like a couple of like some weird like outlines of like documentation about some things, but you also notice that there is like very bold letters that says "warning, warning," and then you see at the bottom a sentence that says the architect has disappeared.
Hmm, I don't like the sound of that. Then Courtney folds it up and she's like, maybe it's for something else. I don't really know. There's not really much information on here. Other than that, and she hands the note back to Celeste. She's like, "That's really all that it says on there. I don't really know what to tell you."
Yep. So you get back the note, Celeste, and you see that Eric is still standing in the doorway in between you and Karuni.
Courtney looks to them and she's like, you know what? I think this is a perfect time for me to do some training with this lovely bow. The two of you, I think it's a nice time to catch up. Yeah, and then you see her, she's like, kind of like pushes her, she like gives Eric a kiss on the cheek. She's like, "I'll be back." And she like, then leaves the room and gets out.
Okay. So you get up and you leave the room, leaving both just, well, leaving just you, Eric, and Celeste.
Celeste looks to him, she's like, "So, um, I
Eric's
guess."
just looking at her.
Celeste just looks at her, she's like, "I'm sorry."
You have nothing to apologize for.
Mm, well, I kind of do. I had a talk with Zoro, and I guess I really haven't been honest with you or really anybody here. Since um, oh God, I just remembered this. Red Red Rock, right? That was the place we were at in the beginning.
River Rock
River
River Rock,
Rock.
yes.
or Redgrave?
River Rock. Um, since we were at River Rock and you know, the whole me being Astra's daughter thing happened. I
Yes.
I feel I feel a bit lost with it. I feel lost in the fact that, well, because I guess now since I'm, I guess, half human, is there really a difference with me? I I mean, I don't really feel different. Well, apart from, I guess, some ability to gather, but that can be discussed at a different time. I wonder what my place is in the world now, knowing this.
Yeah, I learned this from a very young age. And Eric will hold his hand up where his fingers will grow talons and his skin will turn more red. It's not the circumstances of one's birth which makes them a person. It is what they do with those circumstances. Do you understand?
Yeah, no, I do. I definitely understand. Um, I mean, also too with the whole oracle thing and being able to see visions from time to time. I've
You see
I mean,
visions.
oh yeah, I I saw the what happened in here in Ravenfall when you were stationed.
Before I told you.
Yeah.
What else have you seen?
Um, I've seen, and then she begins to tell him like, you know, what she saw here in Ravenfall, what she saw during the battle with the Hydra, Iruka Zoro's dad. She remembers seeing two Mercurio's, you know, Mercurio's parents when they were killed. You know, she began to tell him everything that she saw.
Yeah, so Eric, she gives you like a rundown of everything that she has seen, and honestly, it is to you almost like scarily fine detail, almost like she was there to witness the events herself as well. As she continues going on and on until she finishes everything with the story of Mercurio's vision that she had.
Yeah, that's everything so far.
I could only ask you'd have told me earlier, but there's no point in soiling it now.
I just, I guess I was just kind of scared with how you would react to the information. I mean, you obviously have no expertise on it, so I mean, I'll be honest, I don't even know how I'm able to conjure these, if I'm able to conjure these on my own will. I try to look up information on my own, but I could find barely anything. Um, so I'm, um, I'm just stuck with this.
I too thought I was stuck with who I was for the longest time.
But I mean, you have us, you have Kurani, you have people here who can offer you support.
And you have that any less than me?
Um, I don't think so, but I don't know. Well, because each one of us has a part to do, and I wouldn't really want to burden anybody with everything that I'm feeling.
Did anyone express you were a burden?
Celeste just like shakes her head. It's like,
Then you are yourself with troubles non-existent.
Was I a burden to you when I was your student?
Eric tilts his head up, closes his eyes as if to think. No. Not one moment.
Celeste, she like kind of gives a smile. She's like, "Did you say I'm your favorite student?"
Only by default.
I'm your favorite student, aren't I?
Well, you lasted longer than Mercurio. I'll give you that.
Well, yeah, but Mercurio, he's Mercurio. You know, it's like he's just in his own headspace. But yeah, I guess I do want to apologize for not coming to you sooner in regards to this. I was just scared with how you would react.
What's important is that we know now.
Yeah, that is important. Um, I guess for now, maybe we can try to find some more research on this. But I don't know, it's very lacking with that. I don't know, what do you want to do?
First, did Aragon tell you anything about the staff?
Well, he did say that it was very well made. Then he asked whom, then he said who made it. Whom, well, you know, we unfortunately we do unfortunately did kill. But I told him that he was eaten by the Hydra. Um, and he bought it.
Well, if that would satisfy him to stop pestering you, then that is what you had to do.
He, yeah, I feel kind of bad. He seems like a nice guy.
I have my suspicions of him.
Well, why is that?
And devils are a tricky sort.
But I mean, there are some good ones who are willing to actually be our allies and help. So I would say we should be grateful for that, especially now with the whole apocalypse incoming thing. We should be able to be grateful with any ally we have on our side, no matter who they are or their background.
I'd keep my eye out.
And you can, but Also, take the opportunity if help is given to you.
All right. You are dismissed.
All right. I guess see you later. And Celeste goes down.
Okay. You, Celeste, are, having some more talks with Eric. And by that time, we will end it there for that and move on to the 2-month time skip. So during this time, 2 months had rolled by. A lot of things had ended up changing in Ravenfall. A lot of new construction had been ordered out, and a lot of new buildings have been made, along with a new style of Ravenfall has been made. Of course, with emergency protocols such as safe houses that are around the city, that would be safe houses around the city that would be perfect for certain situations that require emergencies. And now we get the introduction of the new side of Ravenfall. So Ravenfall has had a complete redux to it. As you see that a lot of the buildings, some of the buildings with black tiles are places that are through some changes. The buildings with black tiles as their roofing are buildings that are claimed as safe houses, where they are made with more heavily fortified materials for the creation of these, along with windows and windows that have runes connected to them that allow them to have a bit more stability to them, to make it a bit more difficult for any outsiders to come in. Along with emergency weaponry such as crossbows, bows, swords, staves, anything of the sort that would be needed in certain areas within the buildings. Markets have been reinstalled. Some of the buildings, these are some of the areas for construction. These are new buildings that are being created for living spaces, and of course, with none other than the party no longer living in a tavern, but a complete home dedicated to the party themselves. As you can see, that this is a building that is managed by none other than Eric with a K, who had been ordering a bunch of collections of books. Books that are pertaining to either magic and scrolls and everything and whatnot that could be managed here. As well, of course, the bottom floor having, some regular books that people can come and, read and, have some place to be able to study. There had been a school that was erected here so that students can come in and, begin learning, human children and elven children alike. There has been a completely redone barracks with new recruits, fresh recruits that are in training, managed by none other than Commander Zoro, with Sir Christian and the new captain, Captain Mark, taking care of this lovely barracks. With of course, Shaymar and Mercurio also coming here to also kind of get their tools sharpened, of course, from the blacksmith. Also making sure that they are, also giving some of the other recruits here advice on training. There have been a couple bakeries that have been made around the city that Celeste goes over and kind of manages a little bit. She makes sure that the goods are make sure that they're fresh. And making sure that the staff and everything are okay. What else? Falcaril has taken the time to get some research done in Eric's very own library, along with Eric having his very own apothecary area, which still is waiting for more shipments of apothecary tool sets and beakers and whatnot to come in. But yes, so the party has a complete building dedicated to them. However, past these 2-month time skip, we will begin again with Zoro. So Zoro, throughout these 2 months, you've had time to kind of, get yourself reacclimated to the people. You've had time to really, put in towards just getting yourself all caught up in your own mental thinking, and have gotten yourself pretty much in probably for the first time in years, I mean, not even years, centuries even, in a pretty healthy spot mentally. As of course, you are waking up early, making sure you get your stretches in, get in some practice with the practice dummy with the balcony that was made just for you, over at the home. And always coming here to the barracks, making sure that everything's okay, and of course, every once in a while stopping by to see Celeste, and learning how to bake while you teach Celeste how to cook some of the things that and of course, checking up on some of the restaurants that dedicate themselves to you, Zoro, that they also serve to the people. And of course, making sure that they are in tip-top shape, making sure they're making the best kind of meals for the people that come and visit them.
Zoro's the Gordon Ramsay of
Pretty
the world.
much, the Gordon Ramsay of Ravenfall. But we continue with Zoro as there's a day, Zoro. Early morning, you get up, you go through your usual routine, and as you are making your way into the barracks to double check on all of the recruits, you see Sir Christian come up to you and say, "Commander, I have some news for you. There is somebody at the gate who is looking for you."
Ah, wonderful. Let's go. And who's gonna go to the gate?
Should I accompany you, sir?
Well, it wouldn't hurt.
Very well. You see that you and Sir Christian both make your way to the gate, and you see a very, very familiar face. You see Miss Weiss. You see that Miss Weiss is there at the gate with two other individuals here that are wearing ragged hoods. As you see Miss Weiss kind of like look over, and you see that she's gandering at all of the changes to Ravenfall. She looks over and she says, "Zoro? Zoro, is that you?" As she goes over to you, she's like, "Wow, you have changed. Wow."
A lot. I know. Crazy.
I know. My goodness. It's good to see you again. You see that Sir Christian goes over and says, "Hello, my name is Sir Christian, and I presume you are." You see that Miss Weiss looks over and says, "Oh, forgive me. I am Brigadier Weiss. I am here on official business of the king to deliver some important individuals to you, Zoro, here in Ravenfall. Well, not to just you, but to your party as
The group. Yes.
Yes. Unfortunately, the rest of the other people that we would rely on for situations like these are unfortunately fighting on the front lines in this war. It's not a good
So
one.
we're the backup. Thanks.
Yeah. I mean, I would have. I mean, I tried hard to make sure that you guys didn't have this type of thing to worry about, but you know how it is with governments and kings and everything. They don't really pay attention to us soldiers down here, so I tried my best. But I have two individuals here for you that are highly, highly important individuals, at least to what I was told. Of course, classified information as much as I can really say. Go ahead and introduce yourselves. You see these two individuals take off their hoods, and you see that there are two humans, but you see that they seem a little odd as they are twins. You see that one of them goes up to you and says, "Hi. The name's Archie, and this is my twin brother, Telemine." You see that the other one kind of like is always looking down at the floor while you see that Telemine is always looking down at the floor while Archie is looking at you. He says, "I hope we can be in your care."
I don't think we have a choice, but I don't have a problem with it either. So, let's get you to meet the rest of the group then.
Okay.
You too, Miss Weiss.
You see Miss Weiss looks over. She's like, "Oh, definitely. I want to go see the group again. It has been too long since I have seen you guys. How's my Karuni doing, by the way?
Uh, I believe that's a question that you should ask her and
Oh.
Eric.
And you see that she pauses for a moment. She's like, sorry, I think I might have misheard you. You said Karuni and Eric?
Well, if you want to know more, I would say meet up with them. They'll be able to let you know exactly what kind of relationship they're in.
Right. Very well. I lead the way.
I'm gonna go ahead. We'll go to the new tavern.
You make your way to the new tavern here in the city. As you are making your way there, you see that coming across around on the streets is Celeste. As you see that Celeste is out collecting some groceries. You see Celeste. You see that during the day, you see that one of the places that you manage kind of ran out on some fruits, so you decided to take liberty on it to go get some fresh fruits for them that they can be able to use for some of the pastries that they need to make for the day. And as you're making your way out, you see that Zoro and Sir Christian is there, but also you also notice a very, very spectacular looking Miss Weiss.
Celeste looks and she like pauses for a moment. She's like, "Is that?" And then she quickly approaches. She's like, "Miss Weiss, it's so good to see you."
You see that you approach Miss Weiss. You see that Miss Weiss gives you a hug. She's like, "Yes, it's so good to see you too, dear. How's it going? It's been so long since we've seen each other. How's the rest of the party doing? I'm assuming they're doing way better. Seeing the side of the city and how it is now. My goodness, you guys made a lot of changes. My goodness."
We're doing all well, thank Astra. Yeah, everybody's doing well. Everybody's getting along much more better now. Where are you guys heading to now?
Oh, well, Zoro here said that we were gonna go meet the rest of the party, so that's nice. How's everybody doing, by the way? I heard that there's something maybe going on with Eric and Karuni.
Oh. And then she listens to Zoro and she's like, there is something going on. Yeah.
Right.
I think it's best
Right.
you ask.
Okay. I will surely ask Eric when I see him. And you see that she gives you, you know, that like fake smile that some people give you when they're like trying to hide another emotion. She has that with you, Celeste.
Yeah.
And you guys continue making your way. You guys begin making your way to Eric's library. As you guys are making your way to Eric's library, around this time, you guys are, you know, wandering throughout
Library
the
with a K.
very with it. You guys make your way over to the entrance, where you guys are there, and you know give a couple. You guys give a couple knocks, but no one answers. So you know, like always, you guys just you guys make your way inside. And you see that the library is like kind of empty. There's a couple people that are inside, but not too many people. You see that Captain Christian, not Captain. You see that Sir Christian goes over to you, Zoro. He says, "Commander, should I stay outside and keep guard?"
Yeah, go back to your regular post. I'll catch up with you later.
Yes, sir. You see that he gives you Celeste and Miss Weiss and the other two a bow and a salute before he leaves and goes back to his post. We will continue with Shamar for a few moments. Shamar, give me a description of what Shamar would be around the city around this time. Where would Shamar be around this time?
I think she'd probably, depends. What time of day is it?
It's about afternoon. If I had to give it a proper time, it's probably about like 2 o'clock, maybe 2:30.
Okay, cool. So she probably already kind of saw Tal in the morning and, wished him good luck, reminded him to wear his armor. she also probably has kind of already either has already or will be training Mercurio. So probably at this time she's probably just patrolling around the city.
Okay. So you patrol, you're kind of like, strolling through some of the markets. You see that some of the elves here are tending to the markets. You see that they look over to you, they offer you some food and everything, you say hi to them. And as you're making your way out of one of the few market stalls, you see that Sir Christian is walking past. You see that Sir Christian looks over at you and stands at attention. He says, "Ma'am, good to see you."
Oh, good to see you too, as always. What is going on?
A special occasion. Apparently, there is a very important individual that wishes to meet with the party. So I would assume that you would need to make your way over to Eric's library.
Oh, well, that's news. How are you? I feel as though I have not seen you in forever.
Yes, I have been diligently making sure to train the recruits and making sure that their combat tactics are up to par. I just want to make sure that they are ready for when we have another attack. The last thing we want is to have another ghoul invasion and we're not prepared for it.
Of course, but... And, Shamar will just, put her hand on his shoulder and just be like, just make sure not to wear yourself out. That is my job. I take great fun in seeing how far I can go.
You see that he looks at you and gives a small smile. He's like, "I'm afraid I can't do that, ma'am. I always try to make sure that my troops are tip-top condition. I take pride in my troops."
Of course, any good soldier does. But if you need any help, you know what I am.
Yes,
And I can beat you at drinking again if you... That would be fun.
I'll bet you the next time we go drinking, I'll bet you that I'll beat you on that one.
I will allow you to keep that delusion. For now. See you later.
Yes, ma'am. You see that he stands at attention again, gives you a bow, a salute, and then he makes his way back to the barracks. So I'm assuming
Shamar will just kind of... Yeah, Shamar will just follow.
Alright, so you follow suit going to where?
Going to where she guesses the party is.
The gathering where they're supposed to be at Eric's library, which to Shamar kind of annoys her a little bit. But,
Yes, it's fucking Eric. God damn it. Plus they're interrupting her fucking routine.
Yep.
God damn it.
We will cut to Karuni. So around this time, around 2:30, what would Karuni be doing, Sailor?
I feel like she'll probably be just tuning up her bow and just making any new arrows that she needs to.
Okay. So you go over and you're visiting one of the Fletchers of the village, or not the village, one of the Fletchers that is in the city. You see that they look at your bow and they're like, "Oh my goodness, this is elegantly made." And ma'am, where did you receive this bow?
I know it surprises me every single time I use it.
Well, it seems like I can't really tamper with perfection. I mean, I don't know what else I can really do with this. Was there anything you want me to do with this bow or anything, or?
Well, I mean, does it need tuning? I feel like it doesn't. I feel like it's still good for a few more uses.
Yeah, you see that he looks over and he's like, "Yeah, I see that the notches that are holding the string together, they're still in pretty good shape. Yeah, they've held on. You've been practicing with this bow quite a lot, haven't you?"
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Whew. And the string is made with a material I've never worked with before. Sheesh. Whew. Whoever made this must have paid a pretty penny for this one. Whew.
Well, it was actually a gift, but honestly, I wouldn't have paid a fine price for it.
Ah,
Oh,
friends in high places, huh? Yeah, sounds about right. Well, I can't really do much with this. As he hands you back the bow, he's like, "I can't really mess with perfection. I mean, Shoot, if I tamper with it, I think I might end up damaging it, actually.
Oh, no worries. Thanks so much for at least taking a look at it. Taking a look at it. And then she reaches into her pocket. She places down a gold. She's like, for your troubles, at least.
You see that he looks like, oh, well, thank you for the mighty fine tip. Thank you. You see that he takes the gold and you see that he takes the gold and he puts it on a pouch behind the table. He's like, well, thank you for your patronage. I'll see you again next time if you ever need any of my help.
Of course. Thanks again. And then she like heads off to.
You head outside, and as you're making your way outside, you see that Shamar has also kind of like begin passing by. Shamar, you notice that as you're making your way over towards Eric's library, you see that Karuni comes out from one of the shops.
Shamar will just like kind of like look at her and then just call out. He's like, "Oh, princess! I think we have to go to some kind of a meeting or something."
Haven't had one of those in a while. Yeah. Do you know what's it about?
No, all I heard was a special visitor wants to meet the party, and Captain Christian did not go into any other further detail, so I am a bit in the dark here.
Special visit. See, Karuni's like pondering. She's like, special visit. I guess we'll find out when we get there.
Seems so. Here, walk with me. I will make sure you are safe until we get there.
Shamar, you've seen me fight before. I'm able to protect myself. And also keep
And?
just like Karuni. You don't have to be all fancy with it.
I don't think that would ever happen, but I prefer to keep an extra layer of security at all times. It just helps me feel more comfortable. I prefer to know that things are going to be all right.
All right. Let's head on over then.
Yes, good.
All right. So Karuni, you follow with Shamar, and you guys are making your way through the market stalls near the home that you guys all get your rests in. And out from the side, you hear a very loud like roar and a lot of banging. As you look over, you see that over by wailing, laughing as he is pounding on the table.
Mercurio?
He's doing what to that table?
You see that Mercurio turns around, and you see that Mercurio turns around. He's like, "Ah, hey, Shavar, Karuni." You see that he looks at the other guys like, "Hey, sorry guys, I think I got something to do, but hey, maybe next time, right? Maybe next time we'll talk about that story. All right, I'll talk about it with you next time. All right, see you later." You see that he goes over. He's like, "Yeah, hey, what are you guys doing here? You guys usually don't really go around the market district often."
Why are you trying to break a table in half with your bare fist?
Yeah, no, sorry. I was listening to some funny story from one of the patrons here at the bar. Yeah, they offered a drink. They offered to have some drinks with me, so I was like, yeah, why not, I was having a couple of drinks, talking about some stories with them, and they're pretty cool people. What are you guys doing here?
Well, we are heading to a meeting that is apparently happening.
Ah, a meeting? With who?
Not sure. Special guest who wants to meet with us.
Ooh, I like meeting new people. You guys mind if I tag along?
Well, considering that you're a part of the party, absolutely.
All right. Well, where are we meeting?
Eric's place.
Eric's library.
Ah, that place. Kind of gives me a little bit of a
Yes.
weird scenario,
Oh yes, believe me, this is not my choice in venue.
I
But
felt
the
that.
only time you really go in there anyway is when Celeste is in there.
Well, no. Maybe. All right, fine, you're right. All right, well, should we make our way there then? As much as I don't want to.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, well, You guys make your way over. And you see that inside, you see that there are a couple people that have kind of gathered outside. It's like, wow, this place seems kind of
Oh,
Indeed, it
definitely.
does.
well, shoot, I guess